cancel the podcast because no Olsen will be listed. Hello and welcome to Two Shots In Podcast.
I didn't walk. I did 1.5 steps. Come on. Suck my cock. I'll murder your family.
Baby, like it ain't humping sexy.
Are you alright? Do you have your ear pod in while you're
Yeah, I do. You bet your sweet ass I do. Fuck, I can't see. My kid's crying. Welcome back to Two Shots In. This is a laid back one. It's just us, just a crew today. We had a rough week. Yeah,
we did.
My kid scratched my eye.
Brought to you by...
You know what's weird?
Rouse's...
That thing was $1.99 and they didn't give it to me, so it ain't brought to us by goddamn apple juice. That would be cool, though, one day.
How many times a week they say that? They hear that.
I am good about getting sponsors. That's what I used to do at the lodge.
Well,
Trust me.
How long have you been doing this? Ain't got one fucking sponsor yet.
I'm gonna work on. I need an extra day off.
I'll bring a stripper. I'll bring a medium. I'll bring.
These
and who do we got?
Are,
who do we got?
Got an empty goddamn. We had Wheelchair Billy in here 4 days ago.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Who do we got?
Did you ever hear back from that psychic?
I don't have psychics. I have the medium.
Dickie's coming.
That was our fault.
Yeah, it was our fault. We lost power last
So,
night.
No, I'm not talking about tonight. I'm saying
Wednesday was our fault.
We're
We're really straight. We're getting the top crop right here.
You know what?
Jess.
So who's coming on?
What do you want?
Who's coming on in 4 days? Give him a little a teaser.
Oh,
Big old juicy Dickie Brennan.
Dickie Brennan's gonna be here, babe.
Juicy Dickie Brennan.
Oh, he's got some stories too. I just hope he'll tell them on here. That's all.
Hey, you know we got a binary trigger for this.
Oh yeah. One wasn't in that thing.
Paul's got to finish paying for it.
Lay and let. Oh yeah. Well, good luck with that. Why don't you grab that thing? Give the people what they want. What is that contraption you got in front of you?
This is a
The Frankinator.
Ruger 1022. Dare I say?
Although it does not look that way.
Doesn't look anything like a Ruger 1022.
You made it, or you bought a kit that makes it?
No, I actually bought an airsoft M249, and I pretty much used it as a chassis.
How much is an airsoft M249?
A broken one, like I bought, is about $200.
Holy shit! A broken one.
Yeah. So I don't need all the electronics in it. I don't need the airsoft pieces in it. So I rip them all out. And because the firearm stays completely intact, so pretty much this is just a stock, just like it would fit on any Ruger. The only thing that really holds it in place is this one screw, the same as a stock on a regular 1022.
This sounds like we're talking to the jury right now, trying to convince him not to convict.
I mean, I'm not modifying a firearm here. I'm not. The firearm stays the same.
This is legal because when you get so many black pieces and
it is
together.
It's
all
very.
The pieces are the same color.
It's very legal,
right?
Because it is simply a chassis.
The pieces are the same color. It's metal and plastic.
Not really. It's all it's all metal, but it's a chassis.
There's a light on it
that looks
legal,
just like a Ruger 1022. I mean, looks like an M249. And literally the Ruger 1022 just fits inside of it. Same barrel, and there's no modifications to the 1022 at all. And it looks just like an M249.
And the most expensive thing on it is the
M24. Oh, the EOTech.
That's what we do.
But it's it's heavy. It's all metal. It handles well. And everybody's pretty much shot it.
Have you've shot it a lot?
Well, this is the fourth one I've made. actually. This
Where are you
is
getting
the
all these junk, broke ass?
eBay.
Oh yeah, eBay. Huh?
But the first
Who
one I
would've thought
did,
eBay
Gotta
would've
love
worked?
eBay.
the first one I bought was the full size 249 that comes with the fixed stock and the the plastic upper pieces and stuff like that. Doesn't have a rail on it. This is the paratrooper version. So the stock actually folds. You have a full rail on both sides.
So what'd you sell one of those for?
$1,000.
That's pretty cool. You shot it with the can on it.
We did shoot it with.
We need to put that trigger in it.
But the charging handle, I usually replace the charging handle with a extended charging handle, so it's easier to rack. Because this charging handle is just for show. So you actually rack it, and the mag release ejects the magazine for the 1022.
Well, that's a 1022 mag release you're using, right?
Well, yeah, it's all from here. Like
Right.
the 1022 fits right inside. So this is all
How
1022.
did you figure that out?
I watched a couple videos on YouTube of how people tried to do it, and then I just perfected it.
Of course you
Bunch of losers fucked up, didn't get it done.
did. Frank said, "Let me."
I mean,
show
all
you."
it takes is you cut a little bit as far as, dremeling it out or cutting it with a saw, and you cut this piece out for the ejection port and the racking of the slide.
That's pretty cool.
And
The more I'm looking at it, the
things
more
like this, like I had to drill and tap to put these screws in to hold it to the barrel. So this is just for looks. The sight really isn't, I wouldn't rely on it. But it looks just like a real 249.
We need to put that trigger in it. And
Yeah,
shoot.
and
this-
I can attest to that looking real too.
Yeah.
Thanks to,
yeah. Like
someone
these are just these are
everybody
just
says it does.
dummy rounds.
Thanks to what?
I
Try to
posted.
be so secretive.
I posted
know.
that on. I put a picture of that in my car, and somebody got upset and sent that to HR.
Ratted him out,
my
little
my
bitch.
full time job, and because
Little
I had a
bitches.
machine gun in the car and they got scared.
Oh, nice. So
Snitches.
see the rounds are actually zip tied on. These are dummy rounds, and that's the actual Ruger 1022. Just sitting in there, screwed in with one
So
screw.
you knew this would work before you did it, or
Yeah.
you just?
And they actually take the 1022 and put it in a number of different airsoft chassis. So you can do it with
about that.
you could do it with an M60. You could do it with a number of different things.
Or get to chopping.
Well, I haven't bought those from from eBay.
You think they do that for that? I mean, that seems a little odd that all the airsoft stuff that they make, you can drop a gun into
you
it.
can't really, because like the barrel, for instance, you have to remove the barrel. You have to remove a lot of parts from the airsoft gun to be able to put the 1022 in it. So like I said, this is just a chassis, just like if you would swap the stock on the 1022. It's exactly the same thing. It's held on by the same bolt, the same nut as the chassis for a 1022. So it's literally undoing a couple screws, and the whole 1022 assembly comes right out. So you're not modifying the 1022 at all.
You think I'm ever going to be able to see again?
See again?
This bitch
Out of
is
that
over
eye?
here. He's hurting.
You know,
I can
one
tell.
thing. The only thing you have to worry about is
He's
infection.
hurting.
You need to go get some antibiotic ointment.
Yeah, you do. You need before something
From-
happens bad.
from the doctor.
You don't want an infection
It's weird. It goes away, and then it comes back.
because you're probably
I'm
like
trying not to touch
It
it.
is scratched. It's got to be scratched.
My daughter scratched my eye. I'm being a big pussy today.
So anyway, it looks
Candy
it looks
ass.
really accurate.
It looks really
It looks badass. It does.
I'm waiting to get pulled over with that in the car.
I told you at the time I got pulled over with like 70 guns in the car.
No,
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that.
You were coming
stuff.
back
On
from
my
a
way-
purchase,
no, I
right?
was
From
going to the NRA convention.
oh,
I
nice.
just got that Acura, and I had it for like 6 days, like a week, like under a week. And I'm sitting at the red light, and I'm like, bam! And some bitch hits me from the back, and I get out, and she's like, she's on her phone. She's still got her phone in her
Five
hand
cars
after
fall
she
out.
gets
I mean, 5 guns fall out on this pavement.
No, I said, shit. So I called the guy that was doing the NRA thing. I'm like, yeah, I just got in a wreck, and I got all the guns got me. I'm going to try to make it quick. And the cop showed up, and was talking to me. He said, "All right, we're gonna cut your
Eyes
loose.
got
Were
about
you
this big
drinking or
around."
anything?" Huh? So have you been drinking or anything? I said, "No, she hit me." He said, "Okay, well, before we let you go, we're gonna run your license." I said, "Just want to let you know, there's some firearms in the car." He said, "All right, well, tell me where they are."
Some.
Some.
I said,
Just
"Well,
some.
I mean, you don't have to find them. There are a lot of them." He said, "Well, let me know where they're at, and I'll." I said, "No,
Just
no,
open
you
the
don't
door."
understand. It's like Santa Claus's bag. Bitch. You open the door, they're gonna come pouring out, and there was like 70 guns in the car. He said, "What you doing with 70 guns?" I said, "Well, we got a gun store, and we do the NRA convention, and I'm on my way there." He said, "Okay." The lady was kind of worried though, because she was, I don't know.
Well,
She
you didn't get
love
out
it
and
as much. No.
son of a bitch.
It was just boxes. You couldn't really tell what was in them unless
Right,
you
right.
knew the manufacturers. But that was an interesting side of the highway. So
It would have been interesting if you'd opened the door. Kink.
yeah,
They would have
Well,
fallen
they
out.
would have. All the boxes would have just poured out. So last time we were talking about things that if you're getting in the gun community, in the culture, what to do, what not to do
Oh,
when coming into a
cha-cha.
gun store. So we're going to help you out because we've had a few of them that just keep happening over and over. And people don't know, so we're going to help them out here.
They don't
Try
know,
not
but they
to get
don't read
angry while they
either.
do
We're
it.
talking gun store etiquette.
Yes,
store
and
etiquette.
range.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Jesus.
So the first one that will really get you in trouble and people angry at you is if you pull your gun out of your pocket or pants or holster, and point it at us. Now that sounds
I need a holster for this.
right. That sounds like anybody listening would say, "Well, of course you wouldn't pull your gun out and point it," but it happens all day long.
All day.
Especially if you got a cool-looking gun and you think we've never seen a cool-looking gun. You want to show it to us or the customers around. You had some guy in class today that kept jumping in on everything that y'all were talking about. So it's common, and I'm not sure why it's common, but it happens.
We were doing
all
a little
day long.
resting like this. We weren't really aggressive like this yet.
But they do. They
Just
come
resting.
in like if this was a gun, this is a knife. It's unloaded. So if they come in and say, this is well, they don't tell you either first. They just
No,
say,
they
all
don't
right,
tell you.
I'm looking for an ammo for, and they must practice drawing because an ammo for this. And it's it's their gun. Or I need some extended mags for this.
Yeah.
Or we'll say,
And
what
then
kind
we
of gun you
get
got? And instead of
psychotic.
saying a Glock, they just say this. And they point their gun at us.
Yeah.
So don't point your guns at us.
Don't do that. Don't
please.
even pull it out. Don't.
We know what a Glock looks like. I know it's hard to believe, but you can just tell us what it is. So don't put your guns out on and point them at us.
Or just walk around the store with it in your hand with a slide down. We had a guy do that the other day, and I jumped in his shit, and I ended up yelling at him because I said, "Hey, I'm gonna need you to rack that slide back," and he goes to rack the slide back, and he's pointing it right at us as he racks the
As
slide.
he does it.
And I said, "Don't point it at us." And at that point, he was like, he didn't know what to do. He was like so nervous. And Paul had to actually walk up to the end of the counter and say, "Look, just leave it like it is. Bring it to me, and I'll
Yeah.
rack it back." Because clearly the guy froze. Like he got so
People
nervous.
don't realize that there's about a 6-second delay from the time that we ask them to please rack
So
the
you-
slide back for the round that comes shooting out of it.
Right.
So there's a dead moment in there for about 5 seconds where you don't know what's about to happen. They're either going to pull the trigger and shoot one of us or shoot themselves or blow a hole in the counter, which has happened, or they're going to rack that slide back and that round's going to come jumping out of there.
Right.
And I
If
wanna
they
be very
had- if They
clear.
had no idea what was in there.
Yeah, when they're doing all this, the rest of us have our eyeballs on you, and you don't know it. The one you're talking to, trust me, we're all listening and watching,
Right.
and we got their back.
Paul's
so.
mom.
That
Yeah,
happens
that's
a
it.
lot. What? Oh, that the
When
guy.
I
It
yelled at the
happens all
guy and
time.
she got scared.
A day or two ago, 2 guys came in and the mag was out, but there was a round in it.
Yep. They just don't know.
Those
Well,
rounds
and
come
yet-
jumping out.
and-
We're
I
the
mean,
wrong ones, boo.
The accidental discharges are not fun.
No, they're loud.
Right.
Very loud.
Especially from a 308.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, we had one kickoff in the store, 308. You work with guns enough, it'll happen, but man, it's not fun. All right, so what's another one that gets you?
God, the first one, golly.
Yeah, that one's
Do
really
not
bad.
come in smelling like weed and alcohol or alcohol. Do not. I will call you out.
And that doesn't mean when we call you out on it, you go out to the car and Febreze.
Yeah.
And then
try
come
to come
back
back
in.
in.
Guys have done
Nope.
that. They sprayed themselves with Pine Sol or something. Dunked their
Jesus.
head.
Rub the tree on the dash.
They just
on
smell
you.
like weed and Febreze.
Yeah.
I mean, don't do that. Then this is the one store you're going to come to. The customer is not ever right.
And look, we sell guns. Don't call us
and ask
and ask, hey, do y'all sell guns?
Well, you know a funny story? When I was working
ammo?
at Shooters Club, somebody called and asked what our drink specials were. They thought it was a club.
Yeah, we
I
a
swear to
club.
God. I swear to God. They say, y'all got specials tonight?
Yeah, but with the internet now, okay,
Well, this was like
who doesn't look
7,
I know.
8 years ago.
But I'm saying even now, people call us and be like, where y'all located?
Right.
Google Maps. What the fuck?
I've had people call and ask us for our phone number after they call me. Yeah.
Some of it's crazy.
And then they say they're driving and hold on.
And another one I love is, are y'all open? Well, I'm
Or
not
like-
answering this bitch from my penthouse suite in Vegas.
Or like we have a dedicated person answering the phone all day, like a operator.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I got a couple questions for you. I got 15 fucking people in the goddamn store. You want to ask me, hey, y'all, what do you think? What's your cheapest gun? What's your cheapest
And
pistol
then they
you
say,
got?
you tell them, it's like $100. It's a piece of crap. Wait,
Needs
is
work.
that's a good gun?
Hammer
No,
doesn't fire.
it's not a fucking good gun. It's in a bag.
Or you got you got any 9mm in? What do you want, guns
It's
or
got
ammo?
tape holding it together.
Uh-huh. It's in 3 different bags right now, held together by glue. No, it's not a good gun. It's a piece of shit.
Jesus.
That's why it's $100.
Don't call asking for no damn high perk.
And then read your gun. See what it is and the make and the model.
Y'all got a magazine for
a Smith
Glock
and Wesson
9mm.
Glock. Or they mix a couple of those.
Or
say
Smith
the
and Wesson
Smith
Glock 9.
Yeah, yeah.
9mm 40.
Or they want the
Oh,
ammo
Jesus.
for just a specific gun. Sweetheart, the caliber is the caliber.
Right.
And we're not making fun of people.
No,
well,
we're just-
to a certain extent
Come
we are,
on, man.
but all you have to do
We
is
are.
just it's not even doing homework, it's just knowing what the shit you have.
It just makes me kind of sad for humanity, I'm serious.
But the biggest thing is, like you said, don't come in here with a gun. Don't come in here with smelling like weed and
You know,
alcohol.
And don't
And
get
af-
sassy.
After the
Oh,
incident,
I will turn your sass ass back out and leave your sass ass shit
after
somewhere
the
else.
incident on February 20th, it's just so much more amplified.
Right.
You're
It
so
is.
much more conscious of it now,
Yeah.
where we got complacent with it before.
Well, I had to tell them before, I look up and there's too many people in there, and I'm like, we're only going to take 6. It has nothing to do with COVID. I need to be able to watch every single person for every other single person. And I was like, y'all making me nervous. You don't want to do that. And they all started going out the door.
There's a sign. It's a pretty legible sign. It's in English.
Very legible.
Please read.
Nobody
in
reads that
English,
shit.
it's
They
double
just walk in.
spaced.
Just like we tell them, we tell them when they come in. We already have 6 people. You got to wait outside. What do?
Yeah, they'll count.
They got to sit there and count, motherfucker. I counted.
If I tell you to get out, I don't give a shit how many people are in here. Walk out. Damn it.
Yeah, I
Some of
don't
it's
like
just
guns
crazy.
pointed at me. That's no good.
No.
We had a guy, or I saw a
It
guy
happens
made a
lot,
comment.
man.
Does.
A guy made a comment on a post on Instagram or on Facebook or something
Probably bad.
about the incident on the 20th, where the news said, you're not allowed to walk in the store with a loaded firearm. And somebody posted, I didn't realize the Second Amendment had a dress code. Motherfucker, it does in
You
this
so
store.
stupid.
I mean, I don't know why you would. I don't know why you would want to walk in holding a loaded gun anyway.
Well, and I mean, granted, we don't really bitch if it's in a holster
Right.
and it is
The
secure.
problem is it never stays in that holster.
I know.
man. This is like the one place on earth that they think they can take it out the holster.
I just
It never stays in that holster.
every time somebody comes up to me and says, "Hey, I got this," I got it out in the car, and I'll say, "Well, bring it in, but make sure it's not loaded before you bring it in." And they bring it in with a slide lock back most of the
And
time.
we always check it.
Yeah, still have to check.
Don't come in with your hat on, your sunglasses on, all that good
Hoodie
stuff.
over your head.
Don't do that because we're all on alert. Boo.
Well, think
Trust
about
me.
that. Think about what other
You've got
business. This
crosshairs
is
on
why
your
it's so
ass.
crazy that's even
We ain't selling snowballs in this
issue.
motherfucker.
No.
Think of any other business in the world where you can go in with a mask on, a hoodie on, a loaded gun in your hand,
Mm-hmm.
and not get approached by the store employees.
No, excuse me.
Like, what if you went into Eckerd's?
Eckerd's? I used to work at Eckerd's when I was a kid.
I loved
Love it.
Eckerd's.
Oh my god.
I don't know where that came from. Jesus Christ. This apple juice.
Too much apple juice, boo.
Walgreens with a hood on, a mask on, glasses with a loaded gun in your hand.
You don't walk into Levitt's furniture.
That's right.
I'm not walking into Rosenberg's.
You don't go to an AFL game with your.
Shit.
You got another one? Let's
What?
keep giving these people some help.
What from
For
old?
no.
I'm talking about old Schwegmans.
Blockbuster.
Man, I love
Blockbuster.
Blockbuster. We talked about that before.
Isn't there
we
still
I
one
love
left?
Blockbuster. Yeah, the original one's
I
still
think
left.
you can. I think you can Airbnb and stay in the original.
What?
I don't know
Blockbuster.
about
Yeah,
that.
I thought
Why?
so. I'm pretty sure you can.
That's the devil's work right there. Nobody wants to sleep in a goddamn Blockbuster.
Oh my god.
Man,
Sure,
that's
some
when
of
you
those
know you've
managers
really
from
fucked up.
Blockbuster at the
If
time
you ever
thought
find
they were the
yourself
shit.
falling asleep at 2 a.m. in a Blockbusters, that's when you know you fucked
It's a bad
up.
day.
That's right. You got to rethink your life, son.
Oh my god.
But I'm by the new releases.
I did love me a Blockbusters, though, man. Ooh.
So let's see. Another. You know, you can't shoot AR-15s in an indoor range.
Most of them you cannot.
Yeah. And they still try to bring them in.
God, I
And-
had a guy
and just
unloading a
because-
truck though. He was unloading his truck. He had like the gun cases on wheels that were like
just
6 foot long. You can't come in here, bro.
Just because you have an AR pistol doesn't mean,
I mean, it's a
pistol
caliber. Come on, bro. Come on,
or
man.
a Draco
Yeah.
or anything that's considered a pistol. Doesn't mean.
Would
Well,
you ever
we
use a
shoot
Draco for
pistols in here.
anything?
No.
Not maybe a paperweight.
Boat anchor.
What are they used for, you think? Other than music
This is what I
videos?
think. I
Showing.
think, yeah, I think
I got.
these little kids that are rapping about them, they don't know what else is out there, and they got everybody convinced they need a Draco. That's the only thing I can think because it's a
I
piece
was
of
thinking
shit.
about that the other night. Why
Piece of
everybody
shit.
likes those things?
They're garbage.
They don't know what they're talking about.
If they don't know, if you don't know what we're talking about little AK pistols.
We
Little
try to
small
educate
AK
them when they come in. A lot of them do. They start to listen, and when I tell them, "Hey, just because they're rapping about it doesn't mean it's a good gun. Listen to the gun people." Some of them get it. Some of them they just want
It's
it.
a
I mean,
little
it's just an
gun that
AR
shoots a
pistol.
real big caliber.
All right, an AR pistol has a barrel about this big, and a handguard about just as big. So if you want to blow your fucking fingers off, it's a great pistol.
I wonder why we don't see them more in crime though, because it seems like there's a
Because-
lot of them out there.
I don't think.
Because they
I
break.
think the people
They're
that
falling apart before they can do that.
I think the people that buy them and show them off are showing them, or that's what they're doing with them. They're not using them in, for illegal reasons and things like that.
They're just showing they have it.
Well,
They
the
want to show them off.
the gunsmith that I go to all the time, he was working on one, and he said, "I'll never work on another one. This is the biggest pieces of shit
Yeah,
ever."
they are.
And he
What was
said,
he doing to it?
I don't know. It was falling apart. He was
Was he
trying to-
melting it down and making another gun out of it?
he wanted to, but he said, "Yeah, I won't work."
Oh,
on
it
another
kind of looks like that, but without the stock. There
Oh,
you
yeah.
go.
But that
Only
was
got
even-
one eye
even
working,
smaller
so-
though. Like I
Yeah.
mean,
It's
it
even
kind
smaller than
it kind
that.
of looks like here's where the barrel ends instead of here. But
So not a great choice for defensive shooting. They're real hard to shoot, and they're expensive right now.
They're more expensive than the better guns. Better the better choice, I should say.
yeah, much better choice.
Yeah.
Just buy a pair of Nikes and pocket the rest and run next time
Yes,
you see
indeed.
a gun, instead of coming out with that. All right, what's another one? I know I had another one in my head. I had a bunch of them in my head. Now I got Jackie Moon singing "Love Me Sexy" in my head. That's all I can think
Let me
about.
see. I was starting to do a list the other day. I did start a
Take
list.
off your shoes and socks, me sexy.
Oh gosh.
That ball girl. He introduces the ball girls before he plays basketball. The Flint, Michigan Tropics. He gets a little dirty hippie on the
You
Florida.
You want
Just advice for
range
people.
stuff,
Yeah,
or-
range store. Man, the
Let's do
loaded
the
gun
range-
thing is
oh,
a
God.
big one though. That would knock
Learn-
out like half of the prop.
Oh yeah. That I mean, God, the ammo. Don't load your ammo backwards. Don't put it in your gun backwards. Jesus.
I had a lady. She was a police officer in Orleans Parish. She had her gun. This is a knife, but they're both metal. So she took her mag out of her gun, loaded the bullets backwards, and then put the mag in the gun
Jesus,
backwards. So
God.
the bullets were facing the right way, but the mag was in the gun backwards, and the bullets were in the mag backwards. And she put it in her Glock, and she kind of hit it a few times
Oh,
and
dear God.
smashed it into the gun, and it shot once.
Oh my God.
Fucking Glock.
Gotta love that.
You can put that fucker backwards and it'll still
It's
fire
going,
at
boo.
least
It's like,
once.
let me have it.
Well, I mean, how
got
many
you.
times have we had people that put the rounds in backwards and then put the magazine in, charge the first round, and it gets stuck in the barrel,
Yes.
and then we gotta get it out.
Well, she had a round stuck
Well-
in the barrel backwards, so
Well,
you
that's what I'm
couldn't
saying.
tap it out.
Yeah.
That's what
'Cause
I'm
you would hit
saying.
the
It
fire
happens
pit.
all the time. People load the mag backwards, put it in the gun, charge the first round, and it goes in
Crushes
backwards.
the round.
Right.
Could you imagine them not telling us it did that and go to try to tap it in the range? Holy
It just probably exploded.
shit.
Yeah, but Jesus Christ, it's I don't understand why you'd want the bullet facing you in the first place. I just
You ever
don't
think
understand.
about gun control on the other side? Do you ever like say, "Man, I've had enough of this. People don't know what they're doing, and screw it."
like wishing that we had some kind of gun control?
Anything like that?
No, not really. I mean, I just think that the education of people should be more of a priority than what it is. Like a lot of times, even the concealed carry classes or the basic pistol classes, I think a lot of people would just benefit from taking some courses, even if it's online courses, just to familiarize themselves with with the basic fundamentals, rather than just come in and say, I never touched a gun before. I want to get my concealed carry permit tomorrow. You know, I just think that
People like that quick fix, man.
but it's your right to do so. You know, just I don't want to be. I mean, the same reason I don't like to sell bullets to people that want
Smell like
full metal jacket bullets because they're cheaper and they're going to use it for self-defense purposes. You know, that's clearly somebody who doesn't care about the people standing behind the person.
And we
they
do
intend
try
on
to
shooting.
explain that to them here. And I try to, explain to people the difference between going to some other place, like the A word, and then coming to a real gun store like us, not another gun store that won't tell you anything. But we do try to educate the people. And that's one thing I do love about us and our team. We do try to educate them, and whether they listen or not, I don't know.
Yeah, we try not to make you feel stupid.
We really do.
It's not our goal.
We do.
We're
But
trying
man,
to.
it's hard sometimes.
I mean, because
is.
like even some guy. I mean, we had somebody come in who said, if I buy one of those Glock barrels, can y'all put it in for me? And I said, don't you clean your gun? And he was like, yeah, clean it. I said, how do you clean it? Do you just rack the slide back and run a brush through it? How do you don't take it down to like field level strip? And he was like, no. I said, it only takes like 2 seconds to swap that barrel out. And he goes, yeah, but can y'all do it? I said, if you want me to charge you $45 to
Cash.
put a barrel
Cash
in
money,
that takes
boo.
2 seconds, yeah, bring it in. I'll do it. But I'm trying to tell you, you don't need to. It's very simple.
Yeah.
Watch a YouTube video. You can do it yourself. Just make sure the gun's unloaded.
It's just upsetting when people don't seem like they want to know too much more.
Yeah, they
about
don't. They're
stuff.
lazy.
Yeah, that's
they
what
don't
I'm
even want to
saying,
know how
like-
to do that.
Like, that's one of the things, every firearm I buy, or every firearm I get, I have to take it down completely and put it back together. And I take it down way further than just field strip. Now, granted, it's a lot more pain in the ass to get some of them back together,
Yeah.
but it definitely helps.
I've
Like,
had
it
a
helps you
couple guns in
understand all
bags.
the inner workings. Just like
The
the
old Ruger Mark
the little-
ones
yeah,
and twos,
yeah, the little
man, those
Ruger Mark
fucking
one.
things.
holding that fucker upside down and getting that fucking thing back.
What kind of asshole
connected.
would make such a thing, huh?
There is a technique to doing it, and after doing it several times, I was able to get it done, first time every time.
I don't think I've ever put it back together the first time.
Well, I'm
The
saying,
same guy that built
after I
Indiana
learned how to
Jones's
do it,
temple makes Ruger Mark 1 and Mark 2 firearms.
Guy that made
you have
that
to
big
hold it
fucking-
upside down on one
Love
that
leg.
big fucking ball roll down out his ass, big boulder.
You seen Harrison Ford lately? He looks like shit. It's
Yeah,
sad.
he's old as shit.
They're old.
I
Come
know
on.
it's sad though. I didn't
It's
think
sad
he'd be
that
old.
I mean, I remember when they were young,
I do
I
too.
know.
and now I'm like,
He's
people,
like
people are
70 or
starting to
80 years
knock
old
off,
now.
and I'm like, Jesus Christ,
We're
I'm getting
catching
fucking
up.
old.
Yeah, we catching up. I mean, not Devin, but us.
I'm an old soul with one eye.
Fucking
Gonna
Popeye,
bring you a fucking-
motherfucker.
Bring you a pirate eye patch in.
And every time I touch it, it hurts.
Don't. You're
Go
gonna
to-
have to go,
go to the doctor.
You gotta
Just
go.
gotta pop it out.
No, don't do that. Please go Monday morning.
But if you do it, let's record it.
Yeah,
like
we'll
Arnold,
definitely record
fucking
it.
Terminator,
Yeah.
cutting that fucking shit
That
up.
was a good movie too.
Man.
Yeah, didn't he
Terminators,
have a
John
saw?
Wicks.
No, he didn't have a saw in that
No,
movie.
he never had a saw. He had that big fucking SPS or SAS shotgun, whatever it was. That big, the one.
Oh,
that
he had
you
a
could
street
switch
sweeper.
from. Yeah, you could switch from.
Spies
full-
12.
No,
Yeah, the
Spies.
SPAS.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah, those were cool too.
I
Man,
want
gun
one.
companies have made some cool shit over the
the
years.
Uzi 9mm.
You think it'd be a time where like guns are? Well, I mean, I know there'll be a time where guns are pretty much banned, but that there'll just be a certain amount of them that would
See,
have to be bought before the certain time.
You know, I
and-
thought about that today, and
I did
and
too.
I actually brought it up in the concealed carry class. Like gun control, I think is just a crazy concept.
we need to get a liberal on here.
Well, my point being, you can go into any hardware store and buy the parts and build a slam fire shotgun. You know what I mean? They would have to stop the ammo manufacturers from being able to make ammo, and then confiscate all the equipment that it takes that the private people have to generate ammo. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Or reload their own, because any firearm. I was doing research on some of the 3D printed firearms that they have out there.
Those 3D printers are badass.
Dude, some of them, in Europe, there's companies that, or not companies, but there's people that don't believe in gun control at all. And they have to, of course, hide their identity and things like that. But they make these firearms and all 3D printed, and then parts they find at just hardware stores. Mm-hmm. And one of them is called the FGC9. And FGC stands for fuck gun
government?
control.
Oh,
Fuck gun control.
I was working that in my head.
That was on
And
it.
it's all parts you can buy at a Home Depot.
Does it look nice?
Aside from 3D printing, you have to 3D print. It looks like a friggin' CZ Scorpion.
God, I love my
Oh, so it doesn't look like a bunch of tin cans.
No,
hammered
not
together.
at all. Not at all. It looks like a real gun. Like Paul, can you pull that up? The FCG or FGC9?
Do you think people should be able to buy even bigger stuff like tanks and?
I would love a tank.
Now, I would
God,
say
I would love a tank.
I would say because of the Second Amendment. Okay.
Right.
Submarine too.
The Second Amendment was written so that the people could defend themselves against a tyrannical government. Okay, which means we should be allowed to have the same firearms as the government. We can't have Apache helicopters. We can't have tanks. We can't have explosive devices. That the government has the ability to have in the military. So we'd be at a severe disadvantage. Back when they wrote, everybody loves to say back when they wrote the Second Amendment, they were talking about muskets. Well, yeah, they were talking about muskets because that's what the fucking army had.
Right.
They had the same shit that we had. Over the years, the more firearms have advanced, the more we haven't been able to have. I can't go buy a tow fucking missile.
So
I can't go
how
buy
do people invent
Hellfire.
stuff? You probably know stuff about that. Like if
That is
there's a real
not
Tony
me.
Stark, right? And
Yeah.
Tony Stark was a real guy, and both of his eyes worked.
Well, manufacturing firearms, you have to have
And
a license to manufacture.
Yeah, but he
firearms.
was making shit that
Well, they
he
have
wasn't
all these.
manufacturing firearms. He was making like nuclear weapons that were shooting, pop out of his ass when he's flying.
Well, but if
over
you're being contracted by the government, you make whatever you
Yeah.
want. Look at Skunk Works. Look at all these different companies that are
Man,
contracted.
that would be
by the
cool
government.
just to be able to just make whatever you
We know people.
be super
We can
smart.
get some kind of government.
No, but I
something
mean
going
be
on.
super smart and
Nowadays, you got engineers. You got
Just pay them to figure it out.
like I remember when I was in the Navy. Okay, for some of the stuff like the Sea Whiz on the carrier. Okay,
Yeah.
which is they used to call it R2D2 with a hard on because it was this radar system.
that's a good analogy.
Yeah, that was radar system that just had a fucking Vulcan cannon sticking out the side of it, and they said it was more accurate the faster the object was going. But they would light those fuckers off and just it would just fucking shoot thousands
That's
and
funny you
thousands
said
of
that.
fucking
I was
rounds.
listening to GQ does a thing. They like break down movies and shit like that. I think it's called The Breakdown. And a guy that was an Air Force, commander pilot in the Air Force, and he flew for like 40 years. He said a lot of people don't realize it, but if you ever have to shoot bullets, not a missile or drop a bomb or something, but bullets, if you hold the trigger down, you only have like 5,000 bullets. You don't have a lot of ammo, bullet wise. But if you hold the trigger down 3 to 4 seconds,
It's gone.
1, 2, 3, 4, it's gone.
Well, that,
So
and,
he says when you shoot it, it's like that. It's like, and that's it,
Right.
and it's 5,000
Right.
rounds
and what they do
gone
is
in 3 seconds.
That's
they
insane.
don't tell you.
And he said it just hums a little bit, and then you can hear it just go click, click,
right.
but it goes.
Well,
That's it. 5,000
Damn,
rounds.
They
gone.
don't tell you either. Like some of the
Fuck, that's cool, huh?
That's so
the
cool.
firing rate capacity of some of these jets. Okay, they'll just put out, oh, it can shoot 30,000 rounds a second or some shit like that. I mean, that's a lot, but it can't carry 30,000 fucking rounds. You know what I mean? So like F-14s, for instance, when they were trying to save the F-14 when it was going away, and they tried the last ditch effort to put bombs on it, change the avionics, make it where it could actually drop bombs. Those F-14s used to come in we used to tow this fucking big ass target on the back of the ship.
A target?
Yeah, like a big fucking floating target. We tow it on the back of the ship, and these F-14s would come in, and you'd hear them just go.
No.
And then you would hear, which is the gases escaping from the fucking gun.
They were
when
shooting
shoot
at it?
Yeah, they'd shoot at the target and blow the shit out of it.
What if they missed and hit the boat or hit
We
one of
tow
you?
it like a fucking mile behind the.
Oh,
Oh,
you're
okay.
towing it.
Okay,
I
give us
got
some
you.
details
I
there,
thought you
Frank.
stuck it
I
on
was
the
like,
back
what
of the
the
boat.
Oh no! I said we
Just
tow
saying,
this
man,
target.
I got you. Okay,
We're
all
thinking right
But-
behind. Okay,
but-
so
We're not like water skiing on the motherfucker.
Fucking guys out there blowing shit up.
We're sitting back there on lawn chairs, fucking drinking.
that's what I was picturing.
Anyway,
Okay?
Shoot this.
there's a lot of things.
Damn, my head. Give me something else.
But see, they would load these F-14s with
Damn it, Frank.
these little practice bombs,
Details.
these little Mark 82 practice bombs, and they would drop them, and every single time it never fucking hit. Like they would always just boom, you'd see this puff of smoke, and
But think
they
about
just
that. So
sucked.
many rounds. It's so fast.
Well, but then like during Desert Storm, it got to the point where nothing had to be accurate. They didn't have to lock onto a target. They flew over and they pickled off a couple of GBUs, which is guided bombs, and another either an AWACS or something like that would just lays a target, and these fucking bombs would just guide right in. Boom.
so cool.
So like before Desert Storm, the night before Desert Storm started, they told us, because we kept asking, we're like, dude, it was just Desert Shield at that point, okay? And they told us, we said, when are we doing it? When are we gonna start? And they said, when you see all the fucking bombs coming up on the elevators, we're doing it that night. And then all of a sudden, like 2 days later, like the whole flight deck was covered in fucking bombs. I mean, covered. And everybody was loading bombs on. I mean, there's a specific rate in the military.
What year?
That's 91.
Because I think Obama has the highest count for bombs dropped.
Well, he's got the highest
in a
count
foreign
for
country.
kills.
It
But,
fucker dropped so many bombs they ran out of bombs.
He
Damn
spent.
it.
He did more military actions than any president in history.
Yeah, they ran out of bombs.
Yep.
You got all these bombs. They're gonna go bad.
Well, you see, and it's
gotta
the
use them.
first time we used laser guided bombs was in Desert Storm. First time we used some of the things like walleyes in combat situation, which walleye has a big camera on the front of it, and they would just guide it in, or it's kind of like a giant hellfire.
Do you know how those things work?
To a certain extent.
Do you think somebody that's really smart could make a couple?
It'd be very difficult. Yeah, I mean, you'd have to know. I mean, you can make one, but it'd be easily to hack into it or stop it or jam it or something like that. There's a lot of stuff that goes into protecting those munitions from outside interference.
So you don't think in your lifetime you'll see an attack, foreign or domestic, that somebody makes something like this?
I think that. I mean,
Because that would be a fucking problem.
like.
If
I think
somebody
the
rolls,
problem would
a
be
dozen
more.
of those things across the country and launches them at
I mean, did you ever see Clear and Present Danger?
no.
Where they smuggled in a nuclear device and they
But
put
I
it
did
in like
stay at a
a.
Holiday Inn Express last night. No, I didn't see. I didn't see that.
They put it in a.
Well, I mean, that's all the James Bonds.
No, it wasn't James Bond. It was like a Tom Clancy. Where they.
Right.
They brought it in
Like
and
Jack
they put it
Ryan.
in a Coke machine and put it into.
Yeah, right.
You
think anything like that will happen?
I think with the
Because
way that certain.
technology is going so fast, man.
I think that the way it all depends on security, really, and how vigilant.
And it seems like a bomb really isn't that smart. So if somebody can make a phone, you would
don't
think
know,
they'd
they're
be
pretty
able
smart.
to. Are they
Bombs themselves, yeah.
Yeah.
smarter than like an iPhone?
I think a lot of technology goes into them. Like there's like when I first was in, okay, when we dropped bombs with even with the F-18s at the time, I was working with the ABs, Cs, and Ds, and we had to have a FLIR pod on the side of the jet to laze a target or to lock onto it before we dropped those bombs, and it would use that to guide it in. It would ride that laser all the way in. But now you don't need that. Now you know the munitions mostly have the tracking and guidance systems built in, and they just you lock onto it and you head off in another direction. That shit just guides itself all the way to the fucking target. But now even with GPS, you have GPS guided bombs where you put in coordinates and you say I'm going to drop
That
off.
thing will meet you at your house.
Yeah.
Right. I'm going to drop 50 bombs out of a fucking B2, all automatically guided. Nobody has to be on the ground lasing it, like before that, like guys had to
Paint it
be
with an
close,
IR or something.
fucking lasing that shit. And now they don't have to do any of it. The bombs do it all themselves, or they put in those coordinates and they say drop that fucker right here, and they upload that to those missiles or those bombs, and that's where they go. And they're accurate to like less than a mile or some shit. It's crazy.
I can't believe that those guys made those pressure cooker bombs and blew up all the people in Boston.
Well, I mean, look at the Unabomber. Some of the shit he made. He perfected his shit over time. Like he started off with simple pipe bombs, got more and more intricate as he went, and this guy was a genius. Like he literally was a genius.
But it seems like if you have any kind of ingenuity, you can do that, though.
He actually didn't go to.
Doesn't seem like it takes too much.
I would think different. I would think you
I'm
would
just
need to
surprised
be
it
able
doesn't
to.
happen more often.
You need to be able to generate the
There's so
actual
many crazy
explosive.
people.
You need to be able to have a proper switch to do it. I mean, there's the Hurt Locker. That's about
Good movie.
defusing bombs in Iraq and things like that.
Why do they wear that big poncho, that Mexican poncho? Why do they wear that?
That big suit.
Yeah.
It's a Kevlar filled suit that
I mean,
stops the shrapnel.
come on.
It's very effective.
So if you're sitting
However-
on like 10 pounds of explosives in that
Well-
big poncho, that tarp is gonna.
Well, the problem is if you're in the kill zone, if you're in a zone
Right.
where that bomb goes off, it's the pressure that will kill you. It's the overpressure
Right.
from the actual bomb
to
going
rupture
off.
organs and
Right, it'll
rupture
scramble you
organs.
like a fucking egg.
Well,
And-
one of the things you got to think of too is anybody can build a bomb. It's being smart enough not to have it go off while you're building it or handling it.
Right.
That's
That's what I was mentioning with the Hurt Locker is they looked at the guy at the end and he's got like these two fingers missing
Ugh.
and this thumb missing. He's only got like two
God.
fingers on his hand.
Sucks.
And they said sooner or later, every bomb maker gets bit by their own bombs, And I would say that would happen quite a bit, just like you look at these meth motherfuckers that
Oh yeah, they
cooking
blew
meth
up
in
their
their
whole
house,
trailer.
blow the whole goddamn place up while they're
meth
cooking
awesome?
the shit.
Well, you also too like
Think of something that's so powerful that it'll make you make it and blow your house up.
Oh yeah,
all
your own self.
Get you so fucking.
We need to
worked
get a
up.
meth addict
I
on
gotta
here.
fucking make it.
I need to turn my bathroom into an explosive meth addict.
God.
Yeah,
We need
but
to have
there's-
one on here. I want to know what it meth feels
Well,
like. It
what-
must be great, man, to blow your whole fucking house up.
Well, going back to
Isn't that they make with like chlorine and
all kinds of chemicals they mix together. These motherfuckers are goddamn
Shit.
fucking chemistry sets. They're making the shit.
Jesus?
But
Christ.
one
Think of
thing,
being addicted to chlorine and pesticide and ant killer.
one thing I wanted to bring up though about Desert Storm is the first night that we didn't even know we had this kind of shit at the time. Okay, so they loaded these big square because we had the last two A7 squadrons in the entire Navy, and the A7 is called the Man-Eater. It's got this big, huge intake on the front of it. It looks like a shark flying through the air with its mouth open. And we loaded, and nobody even advertises that we had A7s in Desert Storm, but and there is a famous picture of one that is it's a Desert Storm paint job. When we were leaving, we were flying off, we painted it and desert camouflage and wrote Desert Storm across the wings and stuff like that. It was we were with the Blue Blasters. The Blue Hawks, VA-72 Blue Hawks.
There it is.
God, it's badass.
Yep,
Love that
that's
shit,
it.
man.
And see the camels painted on the side? That's for every combat mission that jet flew. And we wrote
The camels?
Dude, yeah, like right here.
Show the top.
That's camels painted on the front of the jet.
Go to the next one down where he was pointing at it. Next one down.
The next one down, the side view of the next one down.
There you go, right there.
Yeah. So see, those are actually camels painted on the side of that jet. You can see it if you click it and zoom in.
I think they just
Click
put a
the-
stripe, maybe. A camel's a lot of work. Are you saying camel like the animal?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now nowadays people would probably flip their shit. They're fucking putting camels.
Yeah,
on
Pete
the
would be up your
But
ass.
see, look, you can see their
Yeah.
actual camels painted on the side of it.
Yeah. Oh my god.
But we wrote on the
What's
bombs.
that big flashlight at the bottom?
Big flashlight.
That big old thing at the bottom. What is that?
That?
Yeah.
Big flashlight.
That's the intake. That's the air intake. So
Looks like they
when,
stuck a TLR-1 on a
when the-
500-pound TLR-1 on
Look.
an airplane.
when that thing's at full power, like there's a video of an A6, which is a different type jet that is on the USS Roosevelt, that is at full power, and it sucks a guy into the intake.
Oh.
I've seen that.
But the first
kill him?
the first stage of the engine. Well, listen.
Look at that guy walk.
No, it
he
doesn't.
stops the motor. Didn't he stop the motor once?
It broke my helmet. Shoots up.
Well,
A bunch of rats catch up.
it doesn't.
Oh, it hurt my elbow.
It doesn't kill him.
No, good.
I swear to God, it doesn't kill him.
Didn't it stop the motor?
He gets
fucking
sucked
with me now,
into
I
it.
fucked with
Okay,
him.
he looks like a fucking rag doll.
Yes.
Gets sucked into it. The first stage of the A6 engine doesn't turn. Okay, it's stationary. So when he hit it, he stopped. It sucked his helmet off, sucked his fucking clothes off. So look, it's at
God, we're
Sorry.
laughing at him.
Listen.
He's eating ketchup out of a straw
I'm
right now.
sorry.
We're
so
all
it's
laughing
at
him.
night. Okay, it's at nighttime. It's a night operation. So he.
Would you rather die in the morning or at night?
What are you talking about?
If you had to choose when you were going to die, would you rather die at the beginning of the day or the end of the day?
Probably the end of the day.
All right,
when I'm
continue.
sleeping most of the time. But anyway.
All right.
So
I
this
picked the
guy
big
gets sucked into it, and then everybody's like looking around, like, what the fuck caused this jet to flame out like that? And then all of a sudden he comes crawling out of the fucking intake
Oh.
and
Well,
falls
he's a
and
tough
falls
dude.
on the ground. That's it, the black and white one right there.
I don't want to see
Man.
this poor guy get ripped to pieces.
Poor
Well, no, he's
guy.
alive, I guess.
Yeah,
He
he's
doesn't get
alive.
ripped to pieces.
He looked pretty bad off,
Yeah,
like
no
when
shit. He got
when
sucked into a fucking engine. That'd be a cool story.
and they used him for safety briefs for quite some time after that. But anyway,
You
so
don't
they-
want this to be you.
so the
Look at this
A7
poor guy.
Well, my
Just a
reason
head
for,
and a wheelbarrow.
My reason for bringing this up is the A7E Corsair.
Can't see.
God, I visualize everything y'all say.
This is that
Jesus.
Bigfoot footage I was telling you about. People watch.
Oh, God.
Well, listen.
They
So
suck Bigfoot up in a trash can and spit him out and then
The-
capture him.
the A7, the
Experimenting
first
on 'em.
stage of the engine actually turns. So if you get sucked into an A7, you're going to get spit out the other end as hamburger. On the A6, that won't
Like a
happen.
grinder.
This poor guy, though.
Getting grinded.
God, I hate this fucking internet, Paul. What are we going to do about this?
Pay for better internet.
We've had the other internet. It was shit, too.
Look,
Maybe we're just
look
in
it
a
up on
shitty spot.
YouTube, Paul. Instead of these individual
Yeah,
websites.
that's what I was thinking.
What do you think about us losing power, being the only building left
Only
in all of Jefferson
person.
Parish without power? That seems like it was
I told you
From
created
those-
10:30 in the
those
morning to
breakers
8
broke.
o'clock at night.
Once those breakers popped, it was, until somebody
Thank
comes up
God
there and resets them.
We know Eric.
Yeah, thanks, Eric.
We appreciate that, buddy.
He helped us out.
Thanks, buddy.
What, he works for Entergy?
He's like
He is energy.
It's like the top guy over there. Yeah, he called me. He was coming back from like Texas or something. He said, "Let me call you right back."
You know what you ought to look up
Somebody.
too is they have videos of
So if people want to look it up and they're listening to this, what should they be searching? What are you gonna search?
A6
Guy gets sucked into jet
Guy
engine.
yeah.
squished.
sucks into engine on the Roosevelt. You could look for any of that.
Guy gets sucked. Wait, hold on a second.
Oh,
Yeah, don't just look up,
A bunch of results.
don't just look up
came
guy gets sucked.
There'll be nothing but little Asian ladies in your news feed.
funny.
Your wife's gonna be pissed. Guy gets sucked into jet.
There
it
you
is.
go,
First,
that's it,
first
baby.
one. So if you YouTube guy gets sucked off in jet. No, I'm joking. If you Google guy gets sucked into jet, it's the first result is what we're looking at.
And it's a black and white plat camera video.
it actually says guy gets
Shocking
through
moments
and lives.
caught on tape.
Sunday.
Sunday. Look at this fucking
Look at
guy.
him.
I love those leather jackets people used to wear, and they used to be so cool.
Take a look at this.
Back in the 90s.
This guy's so fucking crazy.
Watch this drunk guy get sucked
Now
up
watch,
and
I'll explain
spin
it to
out.
you. So, this is on board the Roosevelt during Persian Gulf
Dude, those
War.
planes are scary, man. They're
They're
no
fucking
joke.
awesome.
Well, dude, when we did our troubleshooting, we were literally
Look at this poor guy.
5 feet from that afterburner.
Is there one of the guys with the lights that gets sucked up?
No, well, he does have a light, but he's wearing a green
These
shirt.
poor guys, man, get no
He's
respect.
a cat. He's checking the holdback fitting on the
You're gonna see a
launch
plane eat
bar.
somebody
Watch, he goes
there.
in. Watch.
Damn it.
And then they immediately
Shit.
call, to back off. Watch how he just gets whipped around like a fucking rag doll.
Look at him. Watch
And
the
look,
guy come do ballet next to him. Watch.
The reason it flamed out like that is because it sucked his helmet off and sucked it
Look
through
at
the
my hand.
through
I'm
the.
gonna put it down and to the right.
Like this
Turn it
dude
off.
jumps up in the air trying to see the freaking pilot.
I hope they didn't know each other. That would be super awkward.
Look, he jumps up in the air trying to get.
Well, look, the reason it flamed out the engine is because it sucked his helmet off and it went into the engine and destroyed the fucking engine. So then they tell him, pull that fucking, pull back on the power, shut the
late.
engine off. But see, now this doesn't show the aftermath.
What was the guy
but
doing?
He's checking that launch bar that is locked into the
I
shuttle.
figured he would be pulling out the brick that's behind
Well,
the wheel.
and the sucky part is the way he's walking up.
Sucky
I think.
part.
sucky part is this
Sucky
fucking
part is
guy
a
just got
dude.
turned into
No,
amber.
it's that he's.
This guy can't eat anything that's hard for the rest of his life.
Look, it's
His parents carry him around in a
the
wheelbarrow.
bad part to me is that
the
it
sucky
looks.
part is our internet's
Listen,
slow.
the bad part to me is that the guy looks like he's the one training the guy who looked at it first.
Oh, yeah.
So he's checking what the guy did first, and he gets fucking sucked into the goddamn thing. See, this is common. Like you got to run under
Yeah, why though?
because you get blown off.
No,
Fucking,
but why would they even be going back there?
because on board a flight
You
deck,
have
you
this
have
much room
so
on the ship.
so many places you can walk, and you got jets turning constantly. It's one of the most dangerous places on the fucking planet.
Poor guy. God,
You would just think that they
damn
wouldn't
it.
have the guy, removing the brick behind the wheel right as before this guy kicks it over and it sucks him up into the.
I mean, the process of launching a
This guy's
jet.
bringing him oxygen. Get him this tube of
See
oxygen.
those guys right there in the white? That's what I used to do.
Put him back together.
I wanted to say something about one time you were talking about the mermaids and how it just makes you want to go over. I want to
Mermaids
comment
will
on
do
that.
that.
My uncle was in the Navy too, and he said that was true, and it would
is.
make you. He said he can remember seeing guys fall over in the sharks.
What are you talking about?
That would have them when they hit the water.
What are you talking
The
about?
how when you're on the edge of the ship and you're looking over and how it just draws you to it. And he said he can remember guys.
Yeah, you get this
falling off.
overwhelming urge
What's the mermaids have to do with it?
because they say like back in the day that mermaids would call to these guys and talk them into or like enchant them into jumping off the ships back in the Spanish galleon.
That
days
was their
and shit
reason
like
for
that.
them to do that. But my uncle, even being in there, he said, "Yeah, you just kind of
But there
draw
is-
to it and you just fall."
Yeah,
he said
you
they
do
would
have
fall.
an urge when you're out there just staring out at the water. You do have this urge to just jump the fuck in. I don't know
Yes.
what it is.
Really?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's crazy.
And he said he can remember the guys. You don't even look for them because there's so many sharks and stuff. They're gone.
What do you think that's about?
I have no idea. It's just this, you just get this.
What do you feel like?
You just I don't know. It's weird.
Like, what do you want to do when you get in there?
It's just jumping into the water. It has nothing to do with really
It just draws you, like
you're
sucks
just
you in.
and me. I mean, I have a problem with heights, and on board a carrier, you're 90 feet in the air from the water. And when you're standing out there looking out at the water, you you just have this fucking urge to just jump.
Real?
Please
Yeah,
don't.
it's crazy.
Please
Like a
don't.
cruise ship too?
I've never had it on a cruise ship, but on board certain.
What do you
certain
think
ships
that's
in the
about? There
military.
must be an underlying thing that you're getting at.
I don't know. I don't know what it's about. I don't know why you
That we
get
Like
turn
urge.
mesmerized
out of
or
water,
something.
or we need to go back
Oh,
into
I don't,
water.
I don't know. No, but that's like
Or
like
you're
I said,
thirsty.
like back in the day.
Thirsty.
That's
I mean, there's got to be something to it.
well. I mean, I think it's just that that
Mesmerized.
was a way for guys to blame it
some
and
type
say,
of hypnosis.
"Oh, there's these fucking mermaids calling to us." That's
Did you
why we
watch that
jumped in."
mermaid thing on Sci-Fi a couple years
God,
ago?
I
No.
believe in mermaids. I got a mermaid on
That
my
was
back.
really weird. What?
I have a mermaid on my back. I'm tatted up.
Oh, okay, a tattoo.
Back in the day, they think that's
You're
what they think.
carrying
That's what
this bitch like Yoda on Luke.
Yeah.
they think. That's what manatees are. They think manatees used to be confused
God, that would
with
suck, huh? Going
because
home to
back in the
Adam
day they used to like
Jesus
they used to like the
Christ.
big girls back in the day.
Right,
Oh.
they did.
Hey.
Big guys too. The fatter the guys were, the more.
That means the richer they
That's
were.
right. They could afford food.
That was Japan for a
how
long
fucked
time.
up the world would have to be when
Yeah.
you got to take the fat guy because he could, afford food. Everybody else
right.
was dying without food.
Okay, I
That
gotta
was
get
a
with
real
him.
thing.
I know.
The bigger guys were more, thought
I know.
more attractive.
More successful.
I don't know. I think there was more bigger women than men.
Oh, I'm sure too. But I mean, that would tell people that you could feed.
Oh,
you
yeah.
could afford food.
That was your way of knowing
And
your wealth.
back then,
right.
back then they weren't shaving.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sorry. Hygiene. Please
I wonder
shave
if
it.
people had sex back
Shave
then.
it.
You think that'd be gross?
They had babies.
Oh, I don't
You know that stunk.
Maybe just flung it at you.
Oh, God.
That'd be gross, huh?
Pulling
I wonder
out
what
the
they do for
teeth.
fun. Yeah, no toothbrushes.
Yeah.
No showers.
I'm at the pubes.
The only people that could, that were alive could eat. Oh. I never thought about that before.
My kid watches this podcast.
Think about going to your friends, though. What'd you do last night? Oh, I had sex last night. Like, oh my God, you did? What made you do that?
Good thing they didn't have phones back then.
Why would
I
you
know.
They'd call you like, "Hey, you want to come over? We're gonna play some poker. I'll be here in 5 minutes." Because your wife's like,
My wife took her
"Hey,
shoes
how
off,
you
and I
doing?"
just got the fuck out.
Oh, God.
I wonder if you could even smell it, though, back then. Like, people that don't bathe.
Well,
It
but
was
they also
normal to
had
stink.
when they did
It'd
have
be dirty.
yeah, if everybody smelled the same. What
Right.
do you,
It
what
was
do you know?
normal.
Maybe
It was
it was.
normal. Yeah. Well,
If-
that's like the
if
brothels.
if everybody stank, technically nobody stank.
That's right. It's true.
Tree falls in the woods. Oh, we're so stupid.
We love it though.
Yeah.
Paul, what gets you
special.
the most angry
Like, hang on a
when
minute.
people come in? What gets you the most upset?
Nah, just pretty much pointing guns at loaded
yeah, I
guns.
don't like those guns.
Oh, we're
man.
back on etiquette. Okay.
Let's go back.
Anybody listen? This is like a tennis match between 20 different people.
We have major ADD and ADHD in
We
here.
trust our producer to splice this all together in the right way.
Damn it, Paul. You guys, you're working.
Oh wait, I'm not recording.
Oh yeah, last time
Like
we were
the
talking
other
I will
night,
come through that glass. I will come through
When's
that
Wheelchair
glass.
Billy's coming up?
I'm working on it right now. I should be up within the next
Good
few
luck
days.
with that.
You gotta add that picture I sent you.
Yeah, I am.
God.
Did he shoot a machine gun?
Yeah, he shot an MP5 today.
I wanted to
How'd
video
that-
him, and they were
how'd
supposed
that
to
work?
video.
Well, I told him to come back and we'd
Yeah.
actually video him for the podcast, but because I went and talked to him and I said, "Hey,
Anybody that watches this in the future, Wheelchair Billy was the person that was on the well, he's in a wheelchair, so it doesn't take a genius, but the one that's on the podcast before this one, before
That's
this
right.
podcast.
right." So I told the guys downstairs, I was like, "Look, he doesn't have a whole lot of money." I said, "Kind of hook him up," and
Yeah, he did a
And,
podcast.
yeah.
Let him shoot the
Yeah,
machine gun.
and I
Really?
said, "Why don't you take him out, let him shoot one of the MP5s or something like that?" And he was, when he came back into the store, he was, we rolled back in. I said, "How'd you do, man?" He goes, "Oh man, it was awesome." And I
He
said, "Really?" I
loved
said, "What'd
it.
you shoot?" He's like, "I shot a suppressed MP5."
Yeah.
And I was like,
Man,
"That's
I've known
fucking
Billy
awesome,
for a
dude."
long,
I know.
long time.
But
I remember
I mean-
the first time I met Billy. This is how crazy he is. We just opened and there was nobody in the store at Shooters Club, and Gunny wasn't even there yet. So
Did he
Gunny-
have? Did he have the electric chair? Back
Oh
then?
yeah, he had a little
did he?
machine
Okay.
that he rode around in, and he went out. He was on lane 7, which was our handicap accessible lane, and he was the only person out there. And Gunny comes in 15 minutes later or so, and so it's me, Gunny, and Wheelchair Billy, and he comes rolling out all pissed off. Like 10 minutes later, he said, "Some asshole kicked my gun and my bullets all over the floor." And I guess he rolled over.
And he was the
his
only
bullets.
one in
nobody
there.
else.
I said, all right, I'll go pick up your bullets.
He said, y'all need to watch the video because some fucker kicked my gun and kicked my bullets all over the floor.
So he must have rolled over his bullets. And yeah, I've known Billy for a long time, and he's a trip. Every time he comes in, something happens, and it's fun.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I'm glad we got
Sometimes
him
it's
in.
not funny from what
Well,
I've heard.
sometimes it's not funny.
Oh,
That was the
cha-cha.
first time I threw up over there. But yeah, he's a trip, man. I'm glad we got him on there.
Yeah, well, he had a good time today. I made sure he was taken care of. He
he
came out with a smile on his face.
Yeah, I went and talked to him after, and he was very happy.
So I mean, that's like I said, I told the guys behind in the range, I was like, it's kind of like Make-A-Wish Foundation. We're gonna let him
Yeah,
shoot something,
yeah,
get it
yeah.
off his bucket list. He wants to shoot a machine
Did
gun.
you tell
Take
him
him
he
out
did
there.
our
and shoot him.
podcast?
What's that?
Did you tell him that he did our podcast?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
I
good.
told him for doing the podcast.
Yeah.
Go ahead and and I asked him. I said, did they give you a good deal? They give you a break, and he was like, yeah, they took care of me. I said, good.
All right, good. Yeah, if you didn't know, it would probably seem a little strange, but I've known Billy probably for like 12 years.
Wow.
I haven't seen him in a long time, so when he rolled back in the other day, I had to
Rolled
get him
back
back in. He used to come in the other store, man, like twice a week. Once or twice a week. And then JoJo, I wish you met JoJo. I miss JoJo. JoJo was a handy-capable person that had these huge nuts. And it wasn't really nuts. What it was is, I swear to God, I'm not making this up.
No, he's not.
His intestines, he had a hernia, and his intestines were filling up his nuts.
Oh my
What?
God.
He had,
They couldn't fix that?
well,
Poor fella.
I don't know. I think the
That's worse than
doctor
blue
said,
balls, right? guessing.
his whole body was empty. It just dumped into his nuts. So he had these, it was like 80 pounds, but, he'd have to get, I don't even know how he did it, but like workout
Aw,
pants
I feel bad.
and put workout pants
That's so
over and then put
painful.
workout pants on. But he got adopted by, he's like 50 years old, but somebody adopted him finally and got him taken care of. But I haven't seen him since. But he used to come in like twice a week. We had some interesting cats over there, man.
Make
But
him
yeah,
uncomfortable.
he had a big old hernia, but it was like to his knees and
Oh
like
my God.
60,
Aw.
70, 80
That's
pounds.
crazy.
Oh, we were very nice to him, but we all
that just meant the issue
shouldn't tell him to
itself.
come here, let me fix, I don't know what the fuck to do for the guy.
Right.
But he'd come in and he was very firearm conscientious. He was very safety oriented. So like if somebody was on the range,
Billy's
loading
not.
the mag behind the no. He's ready to punch he's ready to punch a ticket.
Well, they put him actually in one whole side all by himself,
Yeah, we stuck him in the right lane.
and he didn't come out and tell us anybody kicked
I'm
this.
surprised they
fucking
let
gun
him
though.
out. Surprised he's not still down there. They let him out. Oh, Billy. Yeah, we need to get him on and put him on. Maybe we can. Once you post videos, can you add to them later? Without like screwing up the order and views and all that
I think
stuff.
so. I think once it's on there, I have to look
Yeah.
into it.
You probably can't because you can't. You won't be able to change a video into something that would be like.
Yeah, it'd be updated.
You can always
as far as-
add, and say like, wheelchair
Yeah.
Billy's full auto experience or something like that.
So before next week, we need to shoot that thing. You gonna buy that trigger, or am I gonna just stick it in there?
Well, you can just stick it in it. No, I'm gonna buy it. I'll put it on the time card.
I wonder if it works.
Oh, let's try it out.
Hey,
What we're
works in
talking
every
about
other gun. Why would it work in
is a
that?
binary trigger. Well, I've never seen one
Oh.
put into a 22.
It's
Speaking
specially
of-
made for the 1022.
yeah.
I need you
Oh,
to
no,
look
no, I
up
know, but I
that
don't know.
binary trigger for my Scorpion.
Okay. We
I
had
know-
one for like 2 years
Of course.
that nobody fucking bought.
Well, where is it?
Orion host. We finally
Okay.
sold it, but nobody wanted that goddamn
Well,
thing.
Any
I'll
more
buy
personal
it.
business you want to settle on the podcast?
Binary triggers are cool.
We're
That's what
talking about guns,
What we're
Frank.
talking about is triggers that fire when you pull the trigger and then fire when you release the trigger. And they make a shitload of them, and they go into pretty much anything that's really popular.
That
like
Scorpion
that.
was your go-to gun of the day. So
It sure was.
You have one in there?
No, she brought hers, and I backed her up with it. We had a guy that came in and had a vest on.
we're always
He was-
having to back each other
was
up.
acting
If y'all just
suspicious.
knew what happens here, really, God.
Yeah, he was acting suspicious, so I
Had
picked
a
up the
vest on,
Scorpion.
How
all
do you
kinds
have
of
a
shit.
vest on, you think?
We have
I
no
don't know.
idea, but he was kind of a smart aleck. He was giving us
Wouldn't
lip
take his glasses off. Wouldn't
yeah,
take his hat off.
didn't wanna-
Had to force him to do everything
Yeah, didn't want to really comply with a lot of issues
at all.
And so I took the Scorpion. I went and stood over by the optics case and just watched him. Where
Ginger got guns everywhere.
Man, people are so strange.
so
I know.
stupid.
Think about that. Next time that you're...
Stupid.
And then after he left, he sat out in the parking lot in the car for like
We had to stand at the door watching
for like
him.
45 minutes, and then right as we closed, he wanted to come back in and
man,
say,
that's so
"Hey, I want to
creepy.
go ahead and pay
We-
the rest of that gun off."
Nope.
And I'm like, I'm not letting
Send
this
him
guy
out.
in after we close.
He
I
still had
said,
his
nobody.
vest on?
No,
Yeah.
I was like, nobody else is in here. This motherfucker would come in here and take whatever fuck he wants. You know, there's no way. I
Trust
wasn't
me,
gonna let him in.
we
No.
got stuff on
We just
you.
said,
you just
hey,
don't
all the
know.
registers are closed. We
Yeah.
can't do it. Sorry.
Because that's the first. Because I called Frank
Easy
over
way
there.
to fucking rip us off.
Yeah, I
and
was
try
like,
to- try
Frank,
to
he's
cause
got a
some
vest
shit.
on. I said some other stuff, but
Yeah.
I was like, he's got a vest on.
So think about, you're at a cash register at Rite Aid, and somebody walks in with a hood and a bulletproof
Eckerd.
vest on,
And sunglasses.
and sunglasses with a gun.
Yeah, I mean, come
You know,
on, bro.
people want to know.
I mean,
why,
you can't look and profile somebody and say this
No.
motherfucker's going to kill people, but,
But
you can
it's
take
just
precautions.
interesting on
We
how
are going to take
people-
precautions.
The industry itself, gun stores. It's interesting how it's so unlike any other blockbuster. Nobody comes in with a gun and a hood with a bulletproof vest on
That's
at
right.
Blockbuster and doesn't
True.
get a second
But
look.
let me tell you what
That's
I
why
love.
I think some of the
But
shit we
somebody
see
might
here,
come in here and
Yeah.
want to know
I think-
why you're asking them why they got,
Yeah.
some of these reality shows I've seen on like A&E and Discovery and all that shit, they should have a fucking reality show about gun
Oh, yeah.
ranges or gun stores
They wouldn't do it. They'd quit.
because
they would quit.
the amount of shit that we see and deal with on a regular basis, or even somebody
You can't
coming in
make this shit
and
up.
pulling a fucking gun out that is clearly illegal,
Yeah.
and you're like, you can't have that on that fucking gun. You got to take that shit off with an ATF guy 5 feet from him. You know, you just oblivious to the fucking law.
But this is the thing. I do want to give a shout
didn't
out
know.
to some of our team members, because we have team members that we all know, and we just added a new one, so I got to give a shout out to her. You know, as team members, we automatically, especially the three of us, automatically have each other's back so good that it's like, gosh damn it, I
Yeah,
love these
that's-
people.
That's one thing with our new employee.
We don't have to tell her.
Immediately had our back. Like I went over to the optics case.
You better watch her.
She went off.
did, huh?
She went off to the listen. She went off to the other
But
side.
she's been in Navy. She's Navy too, huh?
Yeah. She
Oh,
went,
yeah, is she?
Navy veteran. Yeah.
She went off to the other side and drew her
Just
fucking
started shooting
gun.
rounds in the scene. Pop,
No.
Drew her gun and had it next to her. You know, just standing there.
She was exactly
She
where
was-
we would need her to be.
Didn't have to say a word
No,
to her.
didn't
She
have
knew
to say a
exactly what
word.
to do.
I loved it.
And it was great.
I said,
She
"Look at
backed
these
us up.
two, boy.
And
We got this
She and
going."
I kept eye contact. We kept, you know, like
Talking about the guy with the vest on.
Yeah. Because I was up still. She was in her position. He was in her. And it's like the three, we were a triangle. And
now
it was
we'll
perfect.
say it
was
sucks
perfect.
that we have to be that precautious.
But we
you know
are.
what I mean?
Well,
So you should be proud of us, buddy.
I mean, after the year,
Yeah.
after the few months we
But I'll
just
tell you
had,
what, it was perfect. I mean, that
Definitely
the way it was set up,
understandable.
it was great.
Does
wonder
it,
what
does,
he was
does the
doing with
owner
that
watch
vest.
these?
He does.
We should probably get a bonus this year.
Just
Yeah.
saying. Yeah.
Hazardous operation.
I at least need to look like I make more money, please. I'm trying to do some things in my
What you doing?
life.
Buying a house?
Dude, so no, I bought that property from Eric Scremetta.
Oh, did you?
I bought a company from Eric Scremetta. And the company consists of property. And I got these 2 lots on waterfront. Both of them are waterfront
How do you
lots.
know Eric? You known him before this?
Not really. No, it just happened. So, anyway. So, yes. But I am building.
I got a great deal.
In southern Louisiana.
No. But I did get a good
I own
deal.
some of Mississippi and all of Louisiana.
But, yeah. So, I do have those 2 different lots on waterfront property. I'm going to sell one of them to my friends to help.
What kind of
promote-
business he had?
Who?
Eric.
Eric? He's got all kinds of
Well, I know, but what,
Come
was
on.
he ready?
He just, the company itself owned the property. So
Oh, I
it's
gotcha.
property. So that's what I wanted. So the one lot I'm going to keep, I'm going to build a badass future retirement home / camp. And so I'm excited. I can't wait. So, yeah. So my best friends, I'm going to let them buy the one across the street from me, which is actually,
that would be so cool.
I
I've thought
know.
about that sometimes. Too.
we're going to have a party camp, y'all.
I've thought about if I ever won
So,
the
Mike,
lottery,
I need-
just
I need
buying like
bonus.
a whole street,
some money.
just all your friends living on it.
It's
Those
cool.
houses would be fucked up though.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait. Like, we
did
all
that
talk about
Spiegel
it.
things to my house growing up. I told you I got an earache for like 3 years when I jumped in my pool after he pushed all the lawnmowers in the whole.
Well, it's
neighborhood
probably
into
it probably wasn't just pool water. It was oil and gas and other
gasoline
shit.
and-
Poo water.
Yeah, poo water too.
Devin just cleaned some of that up.
It was pool
We've been
water.
over that before.
Yeah.
She pooed in the bathtub again, but it was before I got home and it was in the morning. Chelsea had to clean it up.
Oh my
yeah.
God!
Yep, she told me the other day. She said, she did it again. I said, well, I'm fucking out. She said, no, I already cleaned it up. She said, I already cleaned
All
it
right,
up.
later.
Yeah, if she did it again, I'd just leave. I'd just leave the
Jesus.
house, start a new life. I got a fake ID with another name on it.
You go grab your lockbox and grab your
That's
extra
right.
credentials out of it,
I'm
like in the
going
movies.
to, I'm going to Akers and just never come back. That's right. I could
But
probably
will-
start a new life.
Yeah, you probably could.
Question is, do you want to
If there's more shit
start over from
involved.
scratch?
Yeah.
Ugh.
I do go and check the office periodically
Scratch was
to make
a
sure he's
good
not
spot,
hanging from the
man.
ceiling.
People don't give enough credit to Scratch. Scratch was a good moment in history of Devon. Scratch was no bills, no nothing.
No responsibility.
I could only eat one meal every 2 days, but other than that, Scratch.
And when
And
you
it
did
was
it,
ramen
noodles.
That's
Yeah.
right. There's something to be said about Scratch. People don't give Scratch enough credit.
Kids today don't,
No, they don't.
because they don't know what scratch is.
No.
Scratch is, man, can I get some money?
That's right. Scratch is nothing.
God, that's true. I keep a debit card and a credit card in my drawer for my kid if he needs it. Damn it.
You stupid.
What does he
Hey.
spend on it?
Popeyes.
Oh my God.
Popeyes.
For people that don't know,
Popeyes.
Popeyes is a local eatery that has fried chicken.
Eatery. Fast food
It's a
eatery.
local owned eatery.
God, they gotta
with
go every
fried
day.
chicken.
Not anymore. It's not locally owned. It was owned by Al Copeland.
Oh,
Now it's
yeah.
owned by America's
Rest in
greatest
peace.
chicken company.
What's that?
Still good.
And did
Some
you know?
corporation.
Oh, that's the name of it?
America's greatest chicken corporation.
And did you know you cannot get onion rings from Popeyes outside the state for the most part? Like if
What's
you go
that? Why is that?
I don't know, you go up north, like in Arkansas,
Well, they don't have onions up there.
you can't get onion rings.
Wait, I don't know. Mine doesn't have onion rings.
Why?
Most of the time, they don't even have chicken, by the way. Just saying. If you go after a certain time, we
Well,
only got
obviously,
fries.
if you don't live in Louisiana, you
We
don't
got
know.
fries.
Onion rings are onions cut into concentric circles and fried. How do you know? Did you go out of the state and try to find onion
Yeah,
rings?
I got an argument with somebody. We were ordering Popeyes. It's like, I want a family order of onion rings. They're like, onion rings? Popeyes don't sell onion rings.
Sonic's got a good onion
What are you
rings.
talking about? You don't sell onion rings. You know, I lived in the town where the first Popeyes was. They sell onion rings. And like, nope.
Where was the first Popeyes?
It was actually in Arabic.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, that was the first Popeyes.
Don't mess up.
Now I feel
Paul's
bad for Popeyes.
Are you
onion
sure that
rings.
wasn't the Popeyes seafood and the when they bought Church's chicken and they made
Whatever
that
happened to Copeland?
Oh, he died.
he died.
Why'd he die?
Oh,
He was old?
Cancer or something.
Oh,
Yeah.
he died of old. I gotcha.
Died
He was
of old.
sick. He was sick.
Well, I always thought he was a
We
young
didn't
guy.
notice his car
I did.
place went under, or like as a hey,
Yeah.
look how rich I am, fucking
I
building
love-
he had
as a-
on
That was a
I-10.
weird
as
thing.
a kid, I used to love. We drive by on the interstate, and I always looking for it.
People
Oh,
do
I
really
love that.
weird shit. Think if you had so much money, you just bought a building that was all glass and
To
put
display
cars
your
you never
cars.
drove in it.
And his
And
boats.
boats.
And those
And
big ass
boats.
cigarette
Yeah.
race
by
boats.
on the interstate. What a weird thing to
Yeah.
do.
So I
Is that fucking weird?
yeah. Well,
What a weird thing.
what's funny is that
Like think about trying to explain to your wife, I'm gonna buy this building off the interstate that's all glass, and I'm gonna fill it with cars I don't drive so other people can look at them.
And cigarette race boats.
Is that fucking strange?
well,
People are so strange.
Well,
I mean,
first off, you
the
need
same
storage.
guy would decorate. He would decorate his house in Lakeview.
But that's a
for-
weird thing to do, to buy an invisible building where you can show off your stuff you don't use.
That's just look how rich I am building. That's
Like
what
if
that
I built a glass
F
box
you.
outside my house and
That's
just
what he's
kept, like a nice riding lawnmower and a couple guns in it that was locked, and people could drive by and look at my stuff that I think is cool.
Until Blair
Wouldn't
gets
that be
old
a
enough
weird
to put the
fucking thing to
lawnmower in the
do?
pool.
is. Yeah.
I'm gonna fill that pool up with cement. I wonder how many bags you think it takes to fill a pool up with cement. How many you
How
think?
many
Depends
bags?
how many
Just get a
gallons
truck to
pool
come
is.
in.
Oh,
Just
it's
get
a lot.
Just
At
get
least,
a truck.
at least more than 50.
If you have
truck.
like 30,000 gallon pool, it's gonna take quite a bit of quickcrete.
More than 50 and probably less than a million.
Just use
good-
a bunch of lawnmowers.
I was going to
the
dump a
good
bag
thing
of
is-
cement in the pool once a week and just hopefully it would fill up,
Poor grandma.
harden over.
The good thing is,
No, this is mine.
you don't have to worry about mixing it
I
with
know.
water.
My grandma probably did the same thing. Right, that's what I
The
meant.
water's already in the pool.
You think it would actually harden up, though?
Yeah,
I think
it
if you
would.
get a good enough mixture of
No,
it,
no,
it
no.
would.
I mean, one bag a day or one bag a week.
I
You
don't
think
know if I don't know if it would harden. It might like disperse throughout the entire, because there is a level of, I think, adhesive in the, mixed in with it.
Right.
And I think if you just dumped one bag in, it might be too watered down. The ratio
But one
of
bag
water
a
to
week. Like one bag a week? you
yeah,
think
but
it
I
would?
don't think the adhesive is gonna wait. I don't think it's
Oh.
gonna say, you know what, I'm not drying right now.
Well, it's
I
not going to
gotcha.
evaporate.
You go
It's
ahead and
eventually
dump-
going to at least fill it up.
It
Woo!
might evaporate. Huh?
Help me, Frank. Thank you.
We got guns falling everywhere. It's a sanctuary city for firearms.
No, but I think just
God,
like
it's been 2 hours.
if you
This
put a
room
drop
sucks.
of food coloring into a glass of water.
Yeah, but if you did one drop a day, it might. Well, no, it wouldn't. It wouldn't. I know what you're saying. I gotcha.
But no, it's totally
That was a
different.
good example.
It's totally, no, it was not.
That
It
was a
was
good
not.
example. I
Absolutely
got-
was not. It's liquid
I
on
feel you.
liquid. No.
Midway through that sentence, I said, "This motherfucker."
Fucking Frank. God. Overthinking
Yes,
shit.
he's right. Ugh. You got anything else before we get Dickie Brennan, big old sloppy Dickie Brennan in here?
Better watch what you say, mother's coming.
I know. I like Dickie Brennan.
I love him. He's great.
To play on words.
Dickie.
So did he post? He was supposed to be here today, but did he postpone?
No,
He
no,
did not-
he was
not
supposed to
be
be
here
here
today.
Wednesday.
We were
lost
out of power.
And then Saturday, Edley was supposed to be here
But
today.
that gives him enough time to kind of cater the show.
Right. Edley, because Ed had a heart something.
Right,
So
had an
she
issue.
rescheduled for next Saturday. That's going to be a good one.
Gotcha. That's gonna
Oh,
be a
I'm gonna
good
tear
one.
that bitch to pieces.
I ever tell you what I did?
I love Edley.
I ever tell you what I did at the Christmas party with her?
We tried
Okay.
to have her steal stuff from.
This is why.
Oh my
look.
God.
This is why Devin's wife loves me.
she does.
Okay, they were sitting
That's
across
the first
from
thing
me.
she'll ask is like, all right, so the Christmas party's this time. Yeah, but we're gonna sit next to Frank. Like, first of all, Edley might not be there. Frank it's not the same thing
Right,
every year. Edley might not show up, and Frank might sit next to
Well,
Edley when she shows up.
Edley sat next to me. Okay,
We got
and we're
hammered.
eating, and I'm drinking. Which I normally don't at.
That's what he would
events
say.
like
He'd
that.
say, "Look, after like his fourth drink, I don't drink."
So I was taking stuff as they brought it to us off the table, and it started off with just like the salt and pepper shakers and stuff like that, and I'm dropping them in this big ass purse she had sitting next to her. Okay, and
You know how some
She
women
has,
have
like-
those purses that are just you can't fill up.
Yeah.
it was crazy because it
Forever.
graduated into full plates, like full
Oh,
size
food.
plates. No food.
Liquor bottles.
But I mean, I'm dropping, and I'm
plates,
looking at Chelsea
silverware.
every time, and she is just beat red, laughing at the top of like that. And I am just dropping shit in Edley's purse, and she's like, goes to get up, and she's like, and her purse weighs 3 times more than what she had. I mean, forks and knives and everything else. I just dumping it all in her purse. She probably went home with something from
Oh,
that
I
night.
know. And then we took everybody's white Santa or Christmas Santa or naughty Santa
Right,
gifts,
right.
and we stuck those in her purse.
Yeah. It was
She had so much
the
shit
whole
in her
night was
purse.
let's see what we can jam in Edley's purse. It was funny as shit.
Anyway, she's gonna come in. I hope Ed's okay.
But she took it well. She was like, "He's crazy, Zay. You can't believe he did." Like she took it really well. She played along.
Yeah, I like Edley a lot. I think she's anti-gun. I hope she is, so we can go at her.
Liberal.
Uh-huh.
We'll have to talk to her.
Ed and Ed Lee.
Right.
I like to meet those
Jesus.
parents.
Both are about 4 feet tall.
Ed and Ed Lee.
Yeah.
I need to talk to him about that.
Why they named him that?
Well, I mean, yeah. Ed and Edley. I mean, I would feel like I got the shit end if I was her, because my name is based off of your name.
She's younger, right?
Oh, I don't know.
Younger than him? I mean, they're not twins.
They might have been
That is
separated
hilarious.
in the hospital.
They still have to be at least 9 months apart.
Jeez,
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to ask her.
Yeah, so she's the younger of the two. That
What's
means
Dickie Brennan's best restaurant that he owns? What's everybody? know
my
him for?
favorite is Bourbon House. That's just my favorite, but he's got some great ones. I mean, he's got
But
Tableau,
I know the name, but I don't know
Palace
the-
Cafe.
What is
Dickie
it?
Brennan's Tableau and Palace Cafe, and then the Dickie Brennan Steakhouse. But my favorite is Bourbon House.
and then he's got his hands in a few other ones.
Oh,
but-
he's got his hands in a lot of
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah,
Huh.
yeah.
You can get
It's
some
funny,
food.
so I'm gonna get him to tell you this story. But he was talking about he bought a house right on the river, and he's like, "I'm gonna get a swing, and I'm just gonna swing." I was like, "Please don't swing out in the middle of the river. It's a fucking Mississippi River, bro." He's cool. Y'all gonna like him.
You'll have
He's
fucking
wild.
Alligators
He's
on their
wild.
tail, fucking reaching up at his ass.
Have you been to his places?
Dickie Brennan's?
Uh-huh.
I've eaten at a steakhouse, but that's it.
All right, see
It
if
is
you can
pretty
bring
good.
Some appetizers.
Hell
Grab
yeah.
on here.
I
But you know,
can put a
kinda
request
have
in.
I can understand. Like, I mean, I've eaten at like Desi Vegas and places like that, and a lot of these higher end places. I know where some of them get their meat, you know, and
What's
because
that mean?
well, I mean, I've worked downtown in you know, the restaurant environment, and we shopped at the same places that some of them get their meat from, their cuts of meat. So
Okay.
how they cook it and how their chefs
That was a
prepare
dark
it,
comment that you made.
how their
She was
chefs
buying
prepare it
bags
and
of
things like
rats
that
off
is
the-
no, nothing like that. I kind of lost the whole. Why am I paying $60 for this steak, and it's the same cut of steak that I just cooked, and it cost me
I don't know about all that.
cost me $20 for the same exact steak. I'm not saying a lot of them do. I'm just saying I know the ones that shop at specific places. We've seen them, and I don't know if preparing it a certain way justifies charging $60 for it. You know,
Well, no,
things
I
like
can
that.
tell you this. So I know. So right around when COVID was hitting, I was gonna be in the seafood industry part of him. Like I was trying to cut contracts with him with another seafood person. Anyway, so I can tell you like their food and ingredients, everything is top. Like top quality, top. There's not one thing frozen, not one thing. There's not. I mean, it's the top of the line. He really.
No, and I'm not trying to knock
No,
their
no, no,
ingredients.
no,
I'm
I'm
not
not
saying
saying
that
you
it's
are.
bad cuts of meat that they use. I'm saying it's very good cuts of meat, but I know what it cost.
It wasn't against you. I was
No, I'm just
making a
saying. I'm
comment.
saying I know what it
Screw
cost.
you!
Fuck you, Frank.
So the
It's burning.
like, see, Mr. John's Steakhouse is my
Yeah.
favorite steakhouse.
I like
What's
GW
of
Fins.
anything. Do you?
It's a seafood place though. It's not
Yeah,
really a steakhouse.
yeah.
Fuck, it's
But
good.
Mr. John's, when I go eat there, it's, you know, it costs quite a bit, but it is literally melt in your mouth fucking steak. It's amazing. Yeah.
I should have ate today. 'Cause now-
All right, we're gonna have a podcast from there. I think.
I would love to. Let's do it.
That
And
would
then
be
also,
great.
you know, Mr. John's, Desi Vega was actually the general manager of Mr. John's. I think his mom and dad owns Mr. John's. And then he started his own place. And now he bought Phil's Grill, you know, that did the burgers.
Right.
And then that's why, like in River Ridge, he's got Desi Vega's Burgers in River Ridge.
This has got to air after he's on here.
After
Why?
he was on here. Why? Because I'm promoting Desi Vega?
No. There's a lot of place to grab a good cut of meat.
No, I'm just saying I love Desi
I
Vega.
keep thinking about banging a Neanderthal from the 1800s. Oh.
Meat and banging.
Y'all
We were
are like
talking about that earlier.
completely left field. Neanderthal.
I keep thinking about it. Think about dating one of those with no soap or anything. I'm gonna be thinking about this for days.
Thinking about fucking a Bigfoot.
I know. Think about that. It'd
No.
like be a punishment, but people had to do it.
Because that's
right
Hey,
here.
one is
when I was in the
hygiene.
military, one of the first videos this guy bought overseas.
Faces of Death.
No, that's
God,
nothing.
that was a good one.
It is, but there's
A lot of
better.
those were
There's
fake.
better
that
ones
monkey
now.
though, that monkey they had
Yeah,
on
yeah,
the
yeah.
table, they were hitting that fucker in the head.
But
He was
there's-
screaming.
Oh,
Ooh.
remember that? God, that's. Ooh.
But
Faces
there's
of Death.
or that woman who got hit by the train.
That monkey was the fucked up one though.
But yeah,
He was just in the middle of in the table
Yeah.
spinning. They were really
They were
whacking
knocking the
him in
shit
head
out of
with
one of the
that
first
hammer.
videos, you know,
He was going,
Ooh.
wah! And they were hitting him in the head with that hammer. Oh, poor monkey.
one of the first videotapes
And
my
having a
buddy
good time.
my buddy bought when he when we got off in Italy, which he had to buy an Italian VCR
Subtitles?
also because it wouldn't play. If they have a different format over there. Like they have PAL format and we have VTSC format or something like that.
NTSC.
NTSC. Thank you, Paul. And one of the first videos he bought was a porn video, and it was called.
When she's banging the animals.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I
saw one of those too.
It was.
That was fucked up. I've
it
seen
was-
one of those when I was.
Dude,
growing
it
up.
was fucking insane.
It was all grainy, but she was
It
really
was.
doing it, man.
It was like donkeys,
Yeah,
horses.
yeah.
I know,
A
I've seen
dog.
it.
A guy with
I've seen
chickens
it.
and
Yeah.
fucking,
Oh.
sheep. I mean, it was
I've
crazy.
seen
I'm glad it was grainy. If it wasn't, think about being that lady. How
Dude.
would you
I've
live
seen
with
it on my
that?
TV at home. Oh my god.
Dude, it's
She
fucking
banged all
crazy.
of PetSmart in 45 minutes. It was dogs,
Fucking
and,
parrots.
and horses and
I
stuff.
got this sugar glider. I'm just gonna.
I have a sugar glider, but I'm not gonna do anything with it.
Oh. Well, you think you could though? If you had to?
Fuck no.
No,
Like,
no,
you
but
know-
like you talk to your fucking to your guns. Man, it's so pretty.
I wonder how they did that though, because it looked real. I mean, it was
probably
great.
it was real.
To where
Yeah,
you
it
couldn't
probably
really see it.
was. It probably
but-
was.
I mean, those horses and stuff were real. I
Yeah,
just
they've
felt
got
bad.
some
for
Dude,
them.
diverse
when
places.
we first pulled into,
You ever been to one of those shows in Mexico?
well, no, but I was gonna say when we first pulled
They've
into
got them
Italy.
in U.S. too.
Oh, do
when,
they?
Look, when we first pulled into
Shame
Italy,
on us.
we got off the ship. Okay, walked literally across the street from the pier
My body's starting to hurt talking about
That's
this. Think about
nasty.
doing that for a living. Banging
into a
an
movie
animal.
theater. Of course, we can't read what's on the sign. We walk into a
That's
movie theater
demonic.
and we look on a screen. There's a woman blowing a fucking donkey on a screen.
Oh,
Mexico?
No, this is in Italy.
No.
And we're like,
No. No.
what
No.
kind of
When did
movie theater we walk into?
No.
When did Shia LaBeouf come in? and
Oh my god!
No.
Yeah, but Faces of Death was a rough one too.
My kid
Back in
couldn't
the
watch this
'90s, man, they had some rough ones. They had that kind of stuff. They had Faces of Death.
Well, but
people
there's
in
new
bodies.
versions of that, but which
Well, now YouTube
are not
I mean,
well, right, but not Faces of Death, because a lot of people come on and say Faces of Death was bullshit.
Well, some of it was.
fake. Well,
you
no,
know,
no,
and they
But
would
the
they would
new
they
ones.
would they would have the the lady up and they'd say we're cutting out her
Right, right, right.
organs and she'd go
But the new
some of
ones-
this like that monkey was really screaming. They were smashing him with that hammer.
The new videos or the new ones that are out there are all supposed to be real. Now, I will say the only
some
video,
of them were real and some of them were really fake.
the only
The
video,
guy, the
I've-
newscaster that was walking
blew his fucking
back.
brains out.
No, the guy
Oh.
that got eaten by the alligators,
Alligators?
or the
Yeah, yeah,
hippos
yeah.
or something. We're here at the the mice race at the county, and he walks back, whoa, and he falls back, and the crocodiles eat him.
crocodiles.
Uh-huh.
Look at Devin's
But some
mohawk.
of them were
I love it.
The worst.
Some of them were really fake. Somebody would
video-
just throw like a blanket, and a fake
Right,
arm or
right.
something would pop up.
Worst video I ever saw,
But I
or
can't
one that
believe
affected
monkey
me the
really fucked
most,
me up.
okay, was a Russian video, and I forget how I even found it. It was a Russian video of a Russian soldier.
You had to go in the video store before Blockbuster, back between those.
No, this
beads,
was
behind
online.
the beads.
Behind
was online.
Behind the curtain.
Oh.
But it was a video of a Russian soldier or something like that, and this other Russian soldier holding him down, sticks a fucking knife into his throat and cuts forward. Okay,
No.
and you can see him just going like breathing through the
Why'd
cut
he
in
do
his
that?
neck. I don't know. I don't know the premise of the video, but you can't understand anything they're saying and things
Right.
like that. And it was literally like I watched it and I was like, holy shit, like
Yeah, it
that
gets
fucking
real
shit is
dark.
real. And just hearing him gurgle,
It's
from
real
the
dark. It's
I
like
was
the worst
Jesus
version of Tosh
Christ.
Point oh.
Yeah,
But that was, I mean, it was years and years and years ago.
Yeah, the worst one I saw was a drug cartel taking a chainsaw and cutting off someone's head with a chainsaw, and then like the guy next to him, the chainsaw hits the guy in the arm, and the guy just sits there, and then you think he's getting ready to start on the second person. This guy runs up with like this little bitty knife that's like maybe 6 inches, and grabs the guy's head, and just starts cutting like that. And when he gets to the windpipe, you can hear he's still alive. You can hear everything
Dude,
just
people don't
squirt-
realize
Dude,
it.
you
We
can
gotta
hear
see
that on that news reporter that was killed in Afghanistan.
Oh, yeah.
Where they cut his head off, and they are sawing his fucking neck, to get it off. In the full video, they don't show it on TV, of course, But you can hear him breathing still. His body's still trying to survive after they cut his fucking head
That's
off.
why we got guns, man.
Dude, it's fucking
We're bringing
crazy.
this thing back around to the beginning. That's why we got guns.
You saw that video I sent y'all today?
Of what?
Golly, were those two young kids in New Orleans trying to
Oh, yeah, and the guy flipped him on the ground
Oh
and
yeah,
slammed him.
he sounded like a little baby pig.
You saw his gun go flying?
Yeah,
The
when
gun
he
was
snatched him up.
Yeah.
Paul, you need a freaking
Pull that up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
I'll
like
send
the
you the-
video
I sent you the text. But anyway, that's on YouTube. That's
where they cut people's heads off.
Yeah,
those
those
were
aren't
rough.
good.
Some of the African
But did
ones,
you
when
see
they,
the
when they
ones-
shoot public execution, when they shoot them,
Yeah.
and sometimes they fucking just graze the side of their head.
Did you see the ones in Afghanistan, like the
Dude, that's a
Taliban ones,
rough-
where they
that's a
they
rough
put the guy
spot.
in a fucking cage
That's a
and
rough
chain
spot,
him up
man.
in the cage,
Light him on fire,
and then light the fucking thing on fire,
Fuck, dude.
and just watch him fucking burn? That shit is
That's a
fucking
rough
crazy.
city. That's a rough spot.
Piss people off. That was fucking crazy. They're
I'll tell you
pushing-
what,
pushing
There's a
people
lot
off.
of those places, man. That
There are. Let me tell you this. So we were gonna go hunting. Like Tokyo was gonna take me hunting somewhere, and there were some customers there, and they were like, "Wait a minute. So you're talking about taking Ginger?" And he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna take her." He was like, "Don't take her." He's like, "What do you mean?" He said, "She won't make it home. She's got blonde hair, blue eyes.
Oh, no,
she
don't
will
go,
not
Ginger.
be." Yeah, I
Jesus
didn't.
Christ, I have to.
I didn't.
Taking you.
Yeah.
Liam Neeson, you.
No, they said that. He said
Come find
she will
you,
not
man.
make it home. I was like, "I'll stay at home. Y'all go ahead."
So you're thinking like 500 years it'll be where there's no more people cutting people's heads off on YouTube, or they'll be back to people cutting people's heads off on
unless
YouTube?
you do away with all religion and everybody agrees that they're not gonna.
Well, that okay. We'll end with this because this really pissed me off. So I was watching the news or some bullshit that they were saying on the news, and the premise was that everything's so bad because people are divided into groups, which is true. But before, like 9/11, when the country was kick-ass and everybody loved each other, we were still all different, right? You know, black, white, Christian, Jewish, but we were all one thing
Mingling.
first.
Yeah.
Americans.
Americans first. Now there's no such thing as Americans, and it's just people that hate the police or
Yeah.
Antifa
Right.
or you
Everybody's
know.
grouped up.
That's why it's about to get
Well,
fucked
it's also
up.
Yeah.
Republicans and Democrats.
Republicans, Democrats.
Like we're
But,
two gangs.
see, we had all that before, but it was all
Yeah, we're
one
subdivided,
thing.
and then
Well,
we're
but
and all
Democrats-
these other
Sub-subdivided.
things.
Democrats never said, "I fucking hate you" because
Right.
you're a Republican, and vice versa. It
Right.
never happened that way.
right.
It was all one thing and a bunch of other different things.
Yeah.
But
Like-
all one thing.
Like, could the country
And a
stand
bunch
together right now
Oh,
if
no.
something like 9/11 happened again?
absolutely not.
Would they band together like they did after 9/11?
I thought it would
I don't
happen
know.
after the COVID. I didn't see how people were going to start hating each other after a virus comes along that kills people.
I think the biggest
I
problem
was thinking to
is
myself,
that
there's
Bring 'em
really
together.
not too many ways that we can all hate each other after this.
well,
Yeah.
I think
But-
that the biggest problem is the, like, with social media and things like that, it makes everybody think that they have an individual voice. Instead of us being a country as a whole, everybody's an individual. Everybody's thoughts count. Everybody's opinion counts. It counts, but that's why you fucking vote, and that's why you stand together as a group, not as, you know, have some fucking pride in your goddamn country
That's why I
instead of
hate
saying,
these things, man.
well, and it's
They're gonna
also
be in us soon in
in
our
the
heads.
in the military. You know, there were plenty of officers I thought were fucking douchebags that I didn't really care for, but I respected the fucking uniform they wore,
Yeah.
and I treated them with respect because of it.
Right.
Just you know, how many times did CNN or all these different news companies refer to President Trump as just Trump?
Right.
You know, didn't
Just
call him
respectful
President Trump.
assholes.
They didn't give him the respect that every other fucking president in this country has had.
And
as
he
being,
more than
being
deserved.
called president.
Absolutely.
You know
Did
what I
you
mean?
see that chick that brought that CNN guy that is a writer for CNN on a
Oh
on
yeah,
a
she
Snapchat
fucking-
date or whatever and recorded it? That was
Oh.
rough, man. That guy, poor guy. I mean, he's telling her, yeah, it's Trump lost because of us. We just bullshitted all of our media outlets. And then he says, next we're gonna go back to global warming. You know, we're just gonna rail global warming and lie to
But he feels like a
lie to
fucking
everybody
asshole
about
right
global
now.
warming. He said, "Oh yeah,
Oh.
Joe Biden. There's the guys."
Watch what he does.
He's got the gun in his face.
Boom. Now watch him flip him. Boom. Look at the gun goes flying.
He's screaming like a little pig right now. And the other one's telling him, let him go, let him go.
Let him go. He ought to stomp in his fucking head, pulling a gun in my
He
face
does
like
let him
that.
go.
And then then I would say he
That's
probably
here.
picks up the fucking gun and says, "Oh, look at that! I got a fucking gun."
Uh-huh.
You're not getting the shit back.
Stupid little kid.
Dude, he
Man, that
slammed
Slam
his
that boy.
face. I mean,
Yeah,
head
he did.
first in the fucking pavement.
I love it.
But you know what? Don't fucking. That's if he's young enough that he could have. Like the guy realized, look, he's fucking young. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to pursue this. Where's the fucking parents?
Exactly.
It's crazy.
They say the young ones are the worst ones.
They are
I
right
know,
now.
because
Like
they
when
have
they
no
re-
respect for human life. They don't give a
recruit
shit.
for like countries that are at the bottom of the.
Well, that's
the
they're like
bottom of
they're
the
trying to
barrel.
say,
They recruit
oh,
the youngest people they can find because they're the most ruthless.
yeah,
they
and they're
say.
like, you value your stuff more than me. No, you value my stuff more than you. That's how I
There's
look at it.
Younger kids, man, they say they're fucking rough when they give them a gun or a knife or something.
And
The
they're
younger
always
the kids get.
the epitome of amazingness in society when something happens to them.
Mm-hmm.
They get killed,
Or
and it's-
Greta. Remember Greta?
oh, the global warming girl.
Autistic girl with global warming. That was.
I don't think she's autistic.
Oh, she's on the spectrum. I know somebody on the spectrum when I see him.
Oh my god.
But
just
her parents.
watch it. Okay.
Her parents are both
Before you
actors.
comment,
Jesus.
Google Greta.
Her parents are both actors, and
Oh, you think she's an actor?
they said
Or an actress?
she because they brought her into like a ask
Oh,
a
yeah.
question, like a open house or whatever they call them, a town hall thing, and she couldn't fucking answer shit. She knew what she was briefed to say. They used her as a
And that was
pawn.
it.
Like 12
And that
years
was it.
old. We shouldn't be listening to anybody that's 12 years old.
No, everybody's
Shit, I'm
got a
30.
fucking
I shouldn't
opinion.
listen to I shouldn't listen to me either.
And she's like her whole family's is really rich too.
Yeah.
Like that boat that she sailed
Global
on
warming,
is like
listen
some
to a
like
12-year-old.
expensive yacht or racing boat made out of carbon fiber and all that mess.
But yeah, I mean, she's got something. She's definitely on the spectrum. But listening to it it's so strange. Of all these people that are in their 60s.
How dare you?
That's what she says. You have taken my childhood.
God.
The globe is warming and you want money. She's like 11 years old. What are you listening to her for? And she might be right, but I mean, shit, she's got a.
Yeah, but
she's
go out.
12.
Put in shit that actually makes a difference. Instead of bitching about us drinking out of plastic bottle.
COVID
Put in.
release bill was a doozy.
You're gonna let companies dump how much chemicals into the oceans, and then fine them fucking minimal amount of money. And if they're we're gonna fine you $5,000 a day. Okay, we're making $2 million a day, so I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
We'll pay the fucking.
right.
It's more cost effective for me to just pay the fine.
Exactly, and keep doing it.
It's fucking stupid.
It seems just like one of the reasons why we do this, and we go off topic so much. It seems like there's too many things.
To cover, because we don't
And we
come
have
up
a
with a
little
topic.
ADD.
We don't come up and say this is what we're talking about today,
Right.
and stay on that topic. But now that I think about it. Oh, let's talk about that.
So many things that feel like they're almost invincible to put up any kind of structured defense against.
I don't know.
Whether global warming's
but-
wrong or
okay.
not, but people just being assholes. Technology running amok. The national debt. China.
I mean, there's
COVID.
plenty to talk about.
But
Believe
see,
me.
he did used to, like, I could see him in the office in the beginning. He was like, okay, I'm like, what's all that? He's like, this is podcast stuff. And now
Well, I
he's
used
like,
to do
fuck
a
it.
radio show, and that was a fucking disaster too, because there's commercials and you can't curse, and you gotta plug this every 15 minutes. And they'll say, "So, Devin, what's been going on at the shop last week?" It's 6 in the morning. I'm fucking pissed, and I want to be there. It's just different. It's much better.
Do you think about the same
Much
shit when
better.
you're at home?
Oh yeah.
So you're just sitting home going,
I sit at home, staring up at the
Jesus Christ.
ceiling like this, just thinking.
one eye open.
Popeye in
One
it.
eye open. Chelsea sleeps on my left, so she thinks I'm sleeping, see? She only sees this part of me. She thinks I'm fast asleep. And really, this part's fucking going a mile a minute.
Fuck.
Oh,
Chelsea,
my
he's
eye
awake,
feels
boo.
better
He's awake.
tomorrow. As soon as it happened, I knew it was going to be a bad day.
Go to the doctor.
She went, huh?
right in my eye. And I went, oh, fuck! And there's like 20 people, and we had
Dude,
a coffee floor this morning.
My daughter has an uncle who,
You have a brother?
from what I heard, he was this is on my ex-wife's side, but he was supposedly had a cup of drink that had a straw in it, and he was talking and went down to, drink out of the straw and poked his eye out.
Oh shit!
So he literally doesn't have an eye, and wears an eye patch, or
That is
Or does he have one of those eyes that are
glass
that look like muddy water?
he can put a glass eye in, but it quote unquote oozes.
Okay, so there's no eyeball at all.
No eyeball at all.
Ooh, cha-cha.
Can he open his eye? Or can he open his lips?
I mean, he
or
can
whatever
open
they
it
are?
and show you the socket.
Yeah,
but-
just empty?
Yeah,
There's cotton in there or something?
I don't know. You got
Gauze.
I
Change
mean-
your gauze.
little small cue balls.
Think about going through life like that. We gotta stop. Think about being able to see.
Ramble on some more, man.
If you could see-
9:15 right now.
If
God
you could
damn.
see for 20 years and then couldn't see anymore.
Oh, that would suck.
Yeah. Well, look
Talk about a
at
bad
Dan
dream.
Crenshaw. He has from the damage from
Your
the
standards for women
IED.
would go down a lot, though.
Well, but the damage.
That's how you end up in a one of those horse dog cow fuck videos of the old blockbusters.
Well,
Behind the curtain.
like Dan Crenshaw. Okay, he lost his eye in an IED explosion. Well, apparently from that same damage.
That's a badass dude. Is that who you're talking about?
No, that's
okay.
yeah, it's my uncle.
No.
it's
The
Kelsey's
other
uncle.
guy the other guy that you were thinking about doing
Oh, the Navy
on
SEAL guy.
his
No.
podcast, he's been on Rogan's. That's a badass dude. Dan
He's
Crenshaw.
awesome. Yeah, I know. And but you're making me lose my train of thought. But
We're good at that.
his
We are
retina,
very good at
his
that.
retina's starting to separate on his good eye, which is results of damage from what originally occurred. So now he's actually got to go get it repaired, or before he loses his sight in his other eye too.
Sucks.
It's
All right,
crazy.
take us out. You give us the last thought.
Who's that? Me?
Yeah, you.
Shit, I've been giving thoughts
You can't
all
tell
night.
who I'm looking at.
No, I can't.
You give us the last thought. Take us home.
God, don't put me on the spot like that. Shit, I've been giving thoughts all night.
Don't people to keep their,
store smelling like wheat.
That is true. I will throw your ass out. Don't do that.
That
God.
ball girl. 25. What's dimensions? What's 20? What's 32, 24, 32 mean?
32
Describe.
inch
That's
That's supposed
bust,
to be the perfect girl.
24-inch waist,
Oh, okay.
32
That's
inch
what he
butt.
says. Coming in at
Waist.
32,
My ass is way
24,
bigger than
32. She dreams of being an astronaut one day. I don't think she can do it. Our ball girl. And then he introduces his team. And here's Vakitis. He's dumb as shit. He has a brother who's a That's when you could say retard back in the movies. And he reads books to him and paints him pretty pictures.
There's a guy on YouTube that does that. Like he'll pick certain sports clips, and he's like, and this fucker comes in, and he's got an accent.
Ozzy.
Dude,
Yeah,
it's fucking hilarious.
He does
He's like,
animals
"Get
fighting,
fucked."
bums fighting. There's these two bums fighting, and he goes, the one bum kicks the other bum, and he says, he tries to with a spinning back kick, but years of meth and inactivity will bind the hips.
Oh my god.
He's actually, I think Rogan had him on. He said that he's actually a announcer for what's the other UFC?
No, I don't know.
Veltor or
Really?
something. Yeah. So he does real announcing, and then he announces, praying mantises fighting.
Crazy shit. Yeah.
Jesus.
Years of meth inactivity will bind the hips.
He's fucking
Yeah,
hilarious.
he's funny. I think that's the same guy. All right. Anything else?
No, I
God,
think we're good.
2.5
Don't make me be a bitch.
hours.
That's all I'm saying. Don't make me act like a bitch. I'm really not.
Buy a gun. Learn to use it. Keep your mags loaded. Your ammo dry. Your eyes away from your children. And we will see you in a few days. I'm Devin Burgess.
Ginger Janae.
Frank King.
And
See, he's
I'm
got
Paul
to find the
Hambrecht.
button. And
Gotta go fucking hit the button.
All right,
Hit your
next time
button.
we're gonna have a guest. I'm glad we got no guest this time though. I just like
It's
it.
good to-
Sometimes
it's good to
we
just
need-
bullshit every now and then.
Sometimes we need it just to be us.
All right, guys, like, subscribe. We're gonna try to get hats and shirts and shit like that we can give away and sell. It's good stuff. So keep us in your feed. And if you have any questions, please, I'm begging you, the number 2 shotsinpodcast@gmail.com. Love you. See you later.
Later.